fucking see you, perp, you son of a bitch. Oh, fuck. Did you hit the button?
Yes, I hit the button. And welcome to the Phantom Zone. It is the most earth-breaking, ground-shaking, but never media show, money-taking, the man, the myth, the legend, the most electrifying villain in all of YouTube entertainment. I'm really going to be a villain tonight because I'm going to be talking about someone, and we're going to be ripping on someone. But as to Mad Squirrel and me chatting with her, also suggested something interesting. And I almost regret doing this suggestion, but shout out to you, Mad Squirrel. I hope you feel better. If you guys don't know, she's been gone for a little bit, but we love you, Squirrel. But anyways, we're going to be doing a shilling tonight.
Fucking outing people. Unbelievable.
But
she's trying to keep the tree cool, guy. She's just up in the tree doing fucking work.
But yeah, so this is going to be interesting, and I'm gonna have to put a disclaimer on this because YouTube's about that bullshit now. And a good friend of mine, shout out to the Glare, just got struck down for some absolute nonsense.
Struck down.
Yeah, overusing fair use. So I'm gonna cover my bases here. All of our
bases. I'm not associated with the host.
Yeah. All of the things we're going to say is under the terms of fair use. We do not encourage that anyone goes on this person's channel and sends any threatening or slanderous remarks. Do not spam this person. Do not downvote the videos or flag them. That is not cool. Do not send this person any hate mail or track them down or any crazy shit like that. This is simply...
Are you reading a script?
I have it all in my head. This is simply for us just to do a funny satirical thing, but to bring to attention the fact that this person, who is now at 7K subs, their channel got banned and they came back. When their channel first got banned, they had 3,000 and they came back with a vengeance and now have 7,000. And a great channel like Will's can get struck. And this piece of crap who makes these type of videos can still be allowed to have their channel up. This is really sad. And it's quite amazing because every video that I have put out has had an ad limit on it. This guy puts out a video about pedophilia, and
that's how you fucking pronounced it?
I can't say the word.
What's that?
You woman. I can't.
He's getting called out from both sides. What the fuck was that? Pedophilia?
We're not allowed to say that.
What do you mean we're not allowed to say it? It's a word.
But anyways, so he's got videos like this and he's thriving. So tonight we're going to get into the mind of a very interesting character, and we're going to ask the question as to what YouTube's standards here really are. Because how is this individual allowed to be on this platform, but yet other great channels are getting struck, being pulled down, getting flagged for content? It's a really interesting question. I can say shit, PB can say dick and balls, and boom, we get no ads because we can't encourage that. But this dude can make...
We can't encourage dick and balls?
But this dude can make a video, and what started this whole thing and people looking on his channel is the movie Cuties. And if you guys don't know about this movie, it's one of the most atrocious things to ever exist in medium.
My God, did you watch it?
Yes, I did watch it.
Holy fucking shit, man. Okay, whatever.
And PB, I had to take several showers. It was...
Don't say... Oh, my God, guy. Don't fuck... No. Do you not understand how that is interpreted? Why did you say that? You watched that movie and then you had to do that? Like, people are not like, oh yeah, I gotta wash all of the fucking dirt off of my brain after what I saw. You're like, nope, I watched that movie. And then I had to take several showers. What
Oh
the
my
fuck?
God. Well, when you present it like that, Jesus.
That's what you just said.
So I want to preference something first. This guy wasn't the only one with a positive review. Now we're gonna watch his review.
Whoa! Yeah, I know what you're trying to do. Did you say hello to anybody?
Oh, sorry, I'm so amped up on Monster. Let me say hi to the chat really quick.
Fucking shit.
Hey, Carmen. Hey, Planet Q's Queen. Good to see you. Hey, Lemon Pie. Geekocidal Tendencies. What's up? Rebecca. How are you, Carmen? How are you? Billie Jean, I'm glad you can make it to one of my live streams. Hopefully this one doesn't scare you off forever. Perp, Get your ass in here.
Right.
Elizabeth Me, how are you? Okay, so let's dive into this so you guys get context, because I don't want to just appear like we're just targeting a defenseless YouTuber. Okay, this man wasn't the only one.
He's not defenseless. How is he not defenseless? Is he dead?
We'll get into that. But let's first look at what the critics had to say. Maybe the critics have some good, intelligent things to say about how this is exploitative. They should never show 11-year-old kids doing this. Let's see what our faithful critics had to say.
Hi, review. Karen.
Oh, look at this. Let's see. What did the 88% versus an audience score of 16. Well, what are we missing?
What does that word say?
Which one?
Some French word?
Yes. This is by a French director.
Olay.
So, the first critic, Mr. Tim. What did Mr. Tim think? I'm not even going to pronounce that last name because I'm going to butcher it. Made this from a very personal place. The keenest parts explore the push and pull of our Muslim upbringing. No, it doesn't. The Muslim part in this movie is about 20 minutes. The rest of the movie... Anyways, we need more feminist stories like Cuties that illuminate the constraints of girls and women who face and help us chart the path to full gender equality.
Right, for 10-year-olds. How old are they supposed to be?
In both horrific scenes and adorable ones. I don't know what movie we were watching, Angie, but we were not watching the same movie. What remains consistent is this director's honesty. Oh, yeah, there was a lot.
Her name ain't Angie.
Cuties is thematically bold yet nuanced study of the displacement and duty that deserves to be seen as an auspicious and astute debut, not the source of scandal. Beth, I don't know what you were smoking when you watched this, Beth. The director has captured something raw, presenting a reality which ought not to be ignored. No, it needs to be ignored. It needs to be ignored by everybody. People, if you're curious, don't do it to yourself.
These are not audience comments, are they?
No, these are other critics. So I don't want to just say that this one person had a stupid view on this.
I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't audience comments, because I was like, they all have red tomatoes by them. How could it get 16% and they're all red tomatoes? But if they're critics, and what, it was 88? No,
this is top critics. Cuties is a powerful statement about letting kids be kids.
Right. Letting them be. I didn't even watch the movie, and I'm guaranteed that's not what it's about. The fuck?
Oh, this is the best one. One of the best films about a girl searching her place in the world while the ground crumbles underneath her. Maria.
Full review in Spanish.
Cuties is serious and raises useful questions.
What?
If it makes you uncomfortable, it's supposed to.
I mean, okay, the second sentence I could probably get on board with. Like, yeah, it's portraying them in that kind of light is going to make a lot of people uncomfortable because they're fucking children. Shut up, phone.
So to frame this, folks, this just to be fair, because we're fair here in the Fandom Zone. It's not this one for the most part. It's not just this one person who's going to give us the most terrible take on a movie of all time. The critics they live in that wood. It would make sense Hollywood would give this kind of a movie a glowing review. I am not surprised. Now, do I think that the backlash was kind of crazy over it? Yes, but there's a reason. Because the scenes in this, if you think the scenes they showed of the little girls doing their routine was bad, that was nothing. That was nothing. The guy's review will tell you some things that he thinks was just extra special. Really knocked his socks off. I can't believe that in this world we have 7,000 wayward souls that are following this man and the crazy nonsensical things. And it's got to be a troll. This has got to be a troll. This can't be serious thinking. I'm going to let you guys decide, but all right, so PB, are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. So the first thing I'm going to show is
You're going to play a video?
Yes. The first I'm going to show a review, which is a re-upload because his video was banned off of YouTube. And then I'm going to play an interview.
I don't need to see Infinite Zod. What are you doing?
And then I'm going to play his defense of his review. And already before we get started, look at this guy. He feels like a guy who is on every FBI warning.
He's making my glasses look creepy.
I've seen a lot of photos that look similar to this person on if you see this man, immediately alert the FBI. But let's see what he has to say about cuties.
Hello, Tiffany.
Hey, Tiffany, how are you? PB, if I miss over anyone, give them a hi. And warning, this may make you feel uncomfortable. Literally, his review might make you feel uncomfortable. But we're going to try to mock it and make you feel easy the best we can. But it's going to be a tough one. We got a lot of work ahead.
How long is this fucking thing?
24 minutes.
Turn the volume on, jackass.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oops. You got to hear right from the opening. This guy's a prick.
Fucking hell.
Hi, cuties. Guess what I just watched?
He starts his review.
Holy shit.
You want to take this one, PB?
Like, I don't know specifically who he's talking to, but that, number one, I'll give him credit for making a pun. Like, just credit for making a pun. People like a pun at the start of a video, at least I do. People don't like to be creeped out before they fucking started watching anything. What's the retention time on this shit? 3 seconds? 2 seconds? You post that 2 seconds?
For my research, he got a hell of a lot more retention time probably than anybody who's unfortunate to click on this man's channel.
So if you're not familiar, Cuties is a film that Netflix just bought from director Maimouna Doucouré. She's a French woman.
What is the deal with the echo?
sparked some controversy.
It's because
maybe not so much the film
I
itself,
have my
but
regular
a poster that Netflix made to promote.
I think.
You can see it's a bunch of 11.
What did you share? Did you share the tab or did you share your screen, jackass?
I shared my screen.
Share the tab. Like it literally says in StreamYard that you will get an echo because it's capturing everything on the screen. And if you share the get out of here. Okay, go back to StreamYard. Stop screen sharing this. And when you go into the screen share option, select the tab on the top. There's 3 options up there. Pick the one that has the video and share that. And there will be no echo.
Okay, so share the tab.
I still don't think you did it the right way, guy. At the top, when it says choose what to share, what did you click on? Chrome tab?
I didn't get that option. What?
Bullshit. When you go to share screen, it says entire screen, window, or Chrome tab. Click on Chrome tab.
Okay, there we go.
Click share audio and then pick the video tab. It lists everything right there. It'll tell you exactly which one it is.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
Holy shit balls. Try it now.
Girls dancing provocatively. Now, people said that this was Netflix sexualizing children.
So weird.
Sexualizing children, that's basically akin to child pornography. And that it's, the pedophile left normalizing pedophilia as a legitimate sexual orientation in Hollywood due to Pizzagate. I don't know how far down the rabbit hole you want to go, and then other people are more just kind of more, I think, in my opinion, sanely saying it's exploitative. It's exploiting children. Even if you're making a movie that's about the exploitation of children, you could do it in a way that does not exploit children when you make it.
No shit.
That's just a little background. That's why I ended up watching this movie. Now,
because you wanted to see how children were exploited in making the movie? Because I don't think that's why. I don't think that's why he went into it. But whatever. You go. You watch all the little thrusting you want.
Movies. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the movie itself. But right off the bat, just first impressions regarding the controversy. This film does try to make you sexually aroused by 11-year-olds.
What?
He said, and I quote, no, I can't even.
This film tries to get you sexually aroused with 12-year-olds.
If you think the review doesn't get worse, it gets so much worse. I can't put into words. And what's magical is he clips parts of this movie into his review.
I can see that. Why did you pause it here?
That was a very terrible pause. No, I don't.
If you are
how much did you just
about people treating this as child pornography,
hold on, I just don't want to relive
try
that.
to make you sexually aroused by 11-year-olds.
I can't skip it because you cut it into it.
And I'll say it's not bad at it. It's not a total failure in that way, at least for me.
Whoa! Whoa! They're not bad at it, over here. I've inverted. What the fuck? That was some tiny fucking child, man. You're talking about one of those tiny fucking childs.
Oh no, this man breaks it down for you how he feels about this movie. I don't Yeah. Oh, it gets worse. This is the most horrid review I think I have seen of any person who reviews a movie ever. This makes John Campea seem competent in every single review
I don't think John Campea is out there shilling for pedophilia. What the fuck?
PB, it gets worse. I didn't think. I got to the 145 and I go, okay, he threw the shot. He's just trying to be edgy, right? He's just a YouTuber. He's trying to be edgy, get the clicks, okay? He can't possibly say anything that's worse than this statement I just heard. He can't say anything worse than this. Boom, you just hit your quota for being weird. Nope, he did not. He exceeded my expectations.
Your mileage may vary. I want to say that if you are concerned about people treating this as child pornography, there are probably thousands of people masturbating to this film as we speak.
There are probably thousands of people doing this. I don't even
like, oh my god, how is this? I don't understand how this is okay to be on YouTube. I don't know. It seems like a fucking endorsement of some creepy ass shit. And I don't think that you're supposed to be endorsing something that, I don't know, you can't legally do. What the fuck is that shit?
There's so much to cover about this individual. There's so much. Like, I was baffled. And when I started to research, because so I was like, let's give a fair and balanced review. Let's get an insight and see, is he trolling? Is something not right upstairs? And I've come to the conclusion that it just might be all three. Yep, this person exists. This really happened. This is out there.
He's not a robot,
As far it's basically, and I'll put some shots in. I'll probably include footage throughout the whole review. But as far as like sexy music videos go, it's not bad.
What? Not good? No.
Are we live? Is this live?
What?
Oh, trigger warning. Honesty. So is that?
Honesty is the fucking problem. Go get a fucking lobotomy, mate.
He said, trigger warning, honesty. I don't know about you guys, but there's some things in life you should never endorse because from a moral and ethical standpoint, it's wrong. It's not just a societal thing. It's as a decent human being thing. And guy, this isn't the hill to die on.
Holy fucking shit. He's like, you know what? I have to do a review of this movie. I need to let everybody know exactly how I feel. No, you don't. You need to go to some type of facility that will help you, guy. You're not, I've never seen it. I don't know exactly what's in it. I know that you're not supposed to be enjoying a movie that's allegedly about child exploitation in that way.
Like, I don't know how this got passed our radar a year ago, but had I known about this, PB,
I remember talking about this stupid fucking movie.
But we had no clue about this guy.
And there was a bunch of pedos out there with YouTube channels who wanted to be like, hey, you see that kid over there? Yeah, so do I. What the fuck? You're like, yeah, I see a bunch of kids over there. How about you stop fucking looking at them?
Like,
part of an attempt by the filmmaker to provoke. I'll say this. I don't get the sense that the woman who made this film is...
Hey, GP?
I think she just doesn't pull her punches. I don't think she's trying to titillate simply for the purpose of...
Whoa!
Let me give context to this.
Stab that kid in the hand?
Yeah, I'm going to give you guys context to that scene.
I don't care about the context. She just stabbed him with a pencil or a pen or something through his fucking hand.
This is the best part of that scene. She did that because, and we'll get to it later in his comment on this, but she took a picture of something a young lady shouldn't and posted it on fucking Instagram. And the kids in school were making fun of her. And so that kid just happened to say something, and she stabbed him through the hand with a pencil. So that's the whole backstory on that scene. And,
hey, Angus.
Yeah. This guy.
Relation, if she were, she probably would just cast adults. Make her life a lot easier. I think that the film is kind of roping you into the discussion of the sexualization of children by sexualizing children and by making you complicit in that, because the camera forces you to...
So, no, I'm not going to pause here.
Good call.
And
okay, so just so we're clear, this man just said that it has a discussion about sexualizing children by, and I quote, sexualizing children. I can think of 150 ways that you could talk about this topic without doing... It's like if you want to make a movie about how bad murder is, and you as a director go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have my main character kill someone on screen, and then we're going to talk about how bad killing someone is. Now, chat, I don't know about you guys, but I have no clue how that makes any fucking sense whatsoever.
You don't have to have the clues, though, because it's fucked up. You don't need any clues. You got one fucking clue. You listen to the words that the guy said. You don't even have to see him. Like, if he wasn't on camera, it would still be completely fucked up. Doesn't change the intent of what he's saying. I mean, the fact that you do get to see his creepy ass, you're like, yeah, that tracks.
So let's put the morality of that aside and just take her art at face value.
So let's those things we're born with, morals and values and decency. Let's put that to the side. Put it in a box and lock it up. Let's remove morality and common decency, and let's focus on the art. Are you fucking kidding me, guy? That's
it's pretty interesting to be forced to do something. It's kind of like Last of Us 2. It's a great game.
Of course, you'd like The Last of Us 2.
Do something that you're uncomfortable with.
It's a great game. I feel like this
and to have to
might
grapple
not even
with
be a real fucking review at this point. If he's like, how many things can I rope in to trigger people? Get a super sticker.
Oh, I do. Oh, hold on a second. A super sticker from Johnny, from Johnny's girl Deb. Thank you. Why can't I see it on my screen?
Because you suck.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm in screen share. Oh, it's only doing one thing, so I can see. Oh, thank you for that. It's a question mark face. Yes, we all have a question mark face about this.
What's up,
And
DJH?
hey, DJH. So yeah, creepiness. This guy is a creep. This guy is a real creep. Before I keep on going, because PB, thank you for that secret, man. I can switch back and forth now. Anyways, just so you guys know, there's going to be much more we're going to dive in about this guy. But reviewing and prepping for this to bring this to everybody's attention, so we get more people who don't click on this man's page. I'm starting to think there might be an elevator that's not quite going all the way up. Like it got stuck at a point and it just didn't, because there's so much more. This man's channel, and he took most of the videos down, but on his website, the things he put on there, this is not the only hot take this man has on anything. So, in case you guys are just joining us, this is a Great Shilling, and I'm pointing out this guy, and this is. I really wish I drank for this. Really, I wish I drank for this. This is PB. You know how you said, "Well, Zod, you didn't finish the whole thing." I would have finished the whole bottle of whiskey, and damn the consequences.
Right. So, how small of a bottle of whiskey did you get?
Don't judge me.
You're right.
In the creation of the culture that these girls are participating in. And it's real. It's very realistic. I don't know if you've ever heard of the app TikTok. There's some pretty interesting stuff on there that
Wait, you don't have earbuds in?
No, because then you can't hear if I do.
Bullshit.
I have to play it with the speaker.
Oh my god, that's not how fucking screen share works, guy.
Oh, really?
Put your fucking earbuds in. Jesus Christ.
PB,
that's where the echo is coming from, because it's playing on screen share, and then you're watching it, and we're hearing it on your fucking microphone?
Yep.
Oh my god, let's see if this fixes the problem.
And I recommend you check it out.
You fucking bastard.
Girls of all ages are dancing and guys are dancing.
Clear as day. No echo. Isn't that beautiful?
So he says, have you checked out that great site, that awesome site, TikTok? He goes, girls are just on there, just dancing. So, this movie's cool because we got TikTok, and I recommend you check it out.
No! I knew there was a reason that I wasn't on the TikTok like Tim Possible, but, if I was watching stuff like that on TikTok, I can get on board with it. I know that's why this guy is not on TikTok. He's not watching it for parody Kylo Ren.
Like this. Dances have become more explicitly sexual. But then, I listen to everybody saying these things, and I think we just sound the same as like old Fogies did in the 50s and 60s. So
Fogies in the 50s and 60s, we're talking about
interesting
fucking kids, guy!
Be kind of held accountable by the film, or maybe just informed. I don't know. The only so there's a scene where they're dancing on stage, and there are these judges that are like frowning and like just people in the audience that are frowning. That's the only indication the film gives that this is odd or that they are overly sexualized, and it holds it back. And spoilers! I'm going to spoil the whole movie.
Good, because so no one here wants to watch
Holy
it.
Fuck!
You should watch it. It's good.
No, don't.
She holds back the audience reaction until the very end, and you see a lot of people going, "Oh, this is no good. This is making me uncomfortable." As these girls are doing increasingly provocative and increasingly sexual dance moves, almost.
Yes, GP. This guy must be on nonce.
No, I haven't been drinking, but I should have. I should have been drinking.
Yeah.
I should have drank a lot.
How many times did you watch this?
Too many, PB.
Oh my God.
Because I couldn't believe that this exists. There's a person out there like this, and they're on our platform, just allowed to.
You work with him. You're the same people, guy.
We're gonna make YouTube great again. Anyways,
your coworkers. Now, I suggest that, like you said earlier.
Do we have an HR? Because I think HR should be notified about this.
Total fucking ignore job. I ain't never gonna think about this fucking guy again. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I plan on doing a deep scrub of my mind by watching. I don't know. 24 something. I don't know what's gonna help me.
To the point where it starts to feel surreal when they're like wiping their hands on their crotches. I think from the back.
Like this,
if memory serves. I'll have to watch it again and again and again. So as a discussion,
I told you this review gets so much more
fucking shit, man.
Like,
why do I think that he doesn't watch the entire movie?
I have this feeling like
these are the types of people where they need to be, I don't know, punished twice as much as Jaime Lannister. That'd be good.
Yeah.
You don't get that? You get that joke? Everybody else gets that joke. It's fine. It's fine.
Piece, it's pretty interesting. I think that it does give you a lot to talk about and a lot to think about, and it doesn't exactly tell you where to land.
Sure.
On how appropriate this dancing is.
Think about not fucking watching it ever.
And how do we? Children are horny. Little girls are horny, and they want to express that.
Children. Now, I have a daughter. She's 14, and she has never expressed even the faintest, thank the good Lord, the faintest interest in exploring that ever. She goes, "Hey Dad, guess what I'm reading?" Or, "Hey Dad, let's watch The Walking Dead." Like,
God, how long does that guessing game take?
Like,
I mean, I don't know, something above my level.
Like,
share, subscribe. We're never going to talk about this guy again.
We aren't sure how to handle that kind of graceless transition from being 9 to being 13 or 14 or 16.
Being creepy as fuck.
And this film is all about zooming in on that and kind of asking us all what we are doing to participate in this, encourage it, discourage it.
I'm not.
It's all.
No, don't go back. Don't go back.
No.
Don't go back to any of those fucking. I mean, this is the worst type of fucking review I've ever seen in my entire life. Because the only spots that you want to pause it, you have to look at the creepy guy behind the microphone. Like every other review, I was like, yeah, pause it when we're on frame from the Snyder Cut. Like, I hate that fucking thing. This is a whole different fucking ballpark. Holy fuck.
And Trina says, I work for the Department of Child Safety in AZ, and period like him is why, or people, I guess that's people, and people like him is why I will always have a job. He needs to be put underground. I completely understand. And keep in mind...
Whoa. Underground?
I'm going to assume she means like in a secret facility.
Right, a secret facility underground where we take care of the people forever.
So, this is YouTube.
Jesus Christ. Fuck off, Angus.
It's all shown. So there are characters who ignore her sexuality, like her father. There's a scene where she tries to strip for her father to get him to give her his phone. She steals his phone and she's trying to get him to let her keep it. She starts taking her pants off.
What?
And he ignores it and is like, what the fuck are you doing? She responds by taking a picture of her vagina. She responds by taking a picture of her vagina and posting it on Instagram, which we'll get to later. We have characters basically shunning her.
Yes. And by the way, he messed up in that part of the review. It was not her father. It was her uncle or a family friend, but equally creepy. And that's a scene in this artistic movie. So the dancing parts weren't even the worst parts of this film. And I'll tell you guys something. One thing. There's been movies that have done coming-of-age stories, right? Stand By Me is an excellent film. You know what you didn't see in Stand By Me? You know what you didn't see in Stand By Me? You didn't see anybody take a picture of their penis and pass it around the school. Because that's weird and creepy. And no one wants to see that. And kids would be very understandably mean and cruel to you if you did that. So, filmmaker, I have no clue for the life of me how this adds to your movie whatsoever, or why it needed to be in the film. And if this is some kind of critique on your life, I am so sorry, but we never needed to see this movie ever. Apparently this guy did, but the rest of us did not.
Her great aunt and her mother basically do like
sweet
this
apple.
exorcism thing
Hit
where
pause
they're
for
trying to
don't pause
cast
here.
her sexuality out of her. Even the girls themselves.
There you go. Generation Productions says, yeah, Zod and PB, underground facility to hold bad people. It's called hell.
like I'm just going to continue. I'm at a loss for words.
Freak out about their own sexuality in a way where one of the girls finds a condom and is pretending she thinks it's a balloon. She blows it up and is pretending it's her breast.
Yes, this is a scene.
And then the other girls realize that she's playing with a condom and they say it's going to give you AIDS, you're going to die. And then they start scrubbing her tongue with soap. And it's like
it's all
great metaphor for the way that kids want to be sexual.
That's a metaphor? That these little kids were stupid and were playing with a fucking condom and blew it up, and now they thought they were going to get a disease, so they scrubbed their tongues. Well, what is that a fucking there's no metaphor there, guy. You're just making stuff up because you're like, no, I'm not going to say it.
And are all about it. And then the like real nitty gritty of sex, the scary parts, are like way, way too overwhelming and terrifying. And it's like a playing with fire thing. So it kind of gives you this jumbled portrait of all the different ways that we respond to the sexuality of young girls. And it juxtaposes these amazing scenes where it's like you'll see the girls playing on a bed where they're stuffing gummy bears in their mouths and they're just totally children. And then you'll see them shaking their booties on this stairway as they make this this viral video. And they're pretty hot.
Jesus Christ.
You can say what
he said.
No.
Like,
yeah, you can say it, but it'd be a fucking lie. I ain't gonna say it.
And I needed to bring in an expert on the psyche of disturbed individuals.
I'm not an expert on the psyche of disturbed individuals. No,
you
not at all.
have to give him a break. He's an expert at lying.
Yeah, I'm sorry it took so long. I had other things going on, a little drama in the community. I apologize for that. But yeah, I got the video that you sent me of Dude. Is that what we're doing? We're talking about Dude?
No, yeah, we haven't even gotten to that video yet. We're going over his review. And he talks about
another fucking video.
I love you. I love you, Phoebe. You're fucking great.
But yeah. He's talking about how great this movie Cuties is. It's a masterpiece.
Oh god.
Every movie that came out in 2020.
Never seen it. Hands are raised. Never watched it.
Okay. Only the guy.
Yeah, that shit is not going on my Netflix account. There is no marks of that shit on my Netflix account. It's never gonna happen. Fuck you. No. Yeah, not happening.
Zod watched it.
I watched it.
Oh,
and
God.
I'm gonna tell you, Blair. Blair, there's a lot of things I've done in my life that I regret. I've made a lot of mistakes.
Like, I gotta be a professional movie critiquer.
Yes, be open. Yes.
But of all the things I've done, I've never gotten done watching a movie thinking that I need to go to church and immediately repent for everything that I've just witnessed and that I need to get right with God immediately. But I did a lot of soul searching.
That's a much better way of saying it than what he said earlier. You want to hear what he said earlier? He said that he watched it a bunch of times. Or no, this video? Was I talking about this video?
No,
talking about the movie.
Cuties. I only ever saw that once.
He watched the movie one time and then had to take a bunch of showers.
And yeah, you missed it. Construed anyways.
No, you said something stupid that half of the people out there are gonna be like, "Wait a second, he did what now?"
No, we're not trying to hashtag cancel Zod. So let's continue. I'm gonna just go back for Blair.
Go back to there, you fucking weirdo.
This viral video.
He's not looking.
And they're pretty hot.
No.
You know, you can say whatever you want about me. It's not my fault. I didn't make it. They did that.
Tell me, this guy's voice is killing me.
A French woman. And
oh my God!
I just dropped my computer.
Express
that, and a bed where they're stuffing gummy bears in their mouths, and they're just they're thinking, look at the blonde one. You're supposed to be sitting there holding these two thoughts in your head, and one that these are kids, and the other that they're hot.
Oh my God.
What?
I mean, Blair, you came in where this review, where this review goes completely off the fucking rails. Like, I thought it was bad in the beginning. PB, wasn't it bad in the beginning? It gets so much more.
It was bad to the bone.
It was bad to the bone.
And I don't even know if you're supposed to be comfortable with that. It's more like you're just supposed to be informed.
You're fucking comfortable with it. That's the problem.
And that you feel that way. And I already knew that, but I think it's a good thing to put that out there. Artistically, I think it's a good thing.
It's a great thing.
Is it exploitative?
What?
Yes, definitely. These kids.
Oh, this gets better.
11,
this gets so much.
They don't really understand what they're doing. I made a porn last year, and I feel like I didn't understand. I feel like nobody. Should it be illegal? No, definitely not. It's not. It's not porn.
Did he make a porn with a child?
He said he made one.
Yeah. Dude, dude. My pants are dropped. Paper towels ready. You know, oiled. It's out. I'm ready to see this bad boy with this dude. Like, no, dude. I do not want to see this guy fucking anybody. Like, what is going on with this guy? Like, why is he talking like why is he talking like porn with him in it is in some way, shape, or form something to even reference back to? It's not. Shut up.
I'm a little terrified that it's only on his personal hard drive that it gets wiped if the cops show up.
You want to hear the really messed up part, Mr. Glare? I was talking about how they struck your channel down for fucking simulcasting a real life trial where you were giving good insight,
Yeah.
and this prick has 7K subs, and after a 3-month ban was allowed back on this platform.
YouTube is an anomaly, man. I can't explain it. I can't fucking explain it, dude. You know, I mean, it's no biggie, dude. Like, I got another channel now. You know what I mean? Like, it's not monetized yet. It hasn't reached the 1,000 subscribers yet. But I mean, dude, 500 subscribers in 24 hours, man, isn't bad. That's what happens when you're a shithead, you know, and you falsely flag people, because especially if you're a big channel. Because, man, I really hope they try to fight. When I already counter struck them. And the next move is either they're going to just take it and deal with it and let my channel be, or they're going to get a lawyer and try to sue me, which will be hilarious if they do, because they'll lose. And they know they won't. They won't. Because I actually have grounds for a lawsuit, because I'm losing money because they struck me. And everything falls in every category of what fair use that the TOS standards fall under. Check all of them. You know what I mean? So it's all fair use. There's literally at least 3 or 4 reasons that qualify to fair use. All of the reasons that qualify fair use in YouTube TOS, that video fell under. So I dare them to try to try to dispute that.
But yet, Glare, this guy's new channel, Gangbusters, 7K. He's got positive. I'm gonna show this guy's channel later. It's spectacular.
Is it because of the video? Because I'm not gonna lie, dude. The video you sent me, this is what really makes me mad about it. Is it's catchy. The song is catchy. It was stuck in my head. I was like, stop singing the song in your fucking head. It's fucking awful. Stop.
That was his response to when people hit his channel. And I'm going to go into an interview where this great YouTuber talks to him. She actually had him on his show, and he defends his review because I honestly don't know which is worse. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't fucking know what to say.
What he is he's a pro troll, is what he is. He's a pro troll.
I did a lot of research, unfortunately, about this, and I'm starting to think that maybe he's just not even that. I think he really needs a hug, counseling.
Do you think that he actually touches kids?
No, I don't think he does.
I don't think so either.
But I'm going to play another video where he's suspect for a lot worse than that. There's
all right.
Hey.
Oh, we're talking about this fuckface. This Emmy Award winner.
No. You just got here.
Oh, man. I'm read already.
What's up, Justin?
Not much. Now I have to stare in the face of this future pedophile.
Look at the screen.
Man, you know what? If he's trolling, good for him. He fooled us.
Justin, I'm gonna play some more videos on his channel, and there's literally a video, and I'll warn everyone here because it might be a little bit triggering, but it's called "How I Stopped Hitting Women." I shit you not.
And this guy is he's just capitalizing on the hate view concept is what he's doing.
If he's trolling,
he's absolutely trolling. He's absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't hit women. I'm just saying
he has a video that YouTube made him take off, and it's on his website called "I Think I Raped Somebody."
Oh,
this is before.
Are you going to play it, Mr. Zod?
I don't know if YouTube's going to pull my channel immediately because this video got flagged to hell and pulled down. So I don't know.
Good point. Yeah, good point. Good point.
It will get me like immediately. My stream will just stop. But yeah, and why I'm bringing this up is because this man should not have 7K subs. This man should not be on this platform. I never say that about anybody. I know there's edgy people and stuff like this, but like him, Shane Dawson, Anacion, all of these sick pricks need to get off of this platform because they give every other YouTuber a really bad name. It's people like this that make it seem like all of us YouTubers are evil people. And you know what?
In the grand scheme of things, though, Mr. Zod, I have to kind of disagree with you because the message that I get out of it is that you still get to say whatever you want. You get to use YouTube for whatever you want. It's still that sends a message that there's still a sense of independence, even though we know it's bullshit because they'll take your channel down for speaking against COVID, or whatever. But the fact that he has the freedom to go up there and say whatever he wants, it's up to us. Because look at us, we're a panel of fairly intelligent people, collectively at least. Maybe not individually, as far as I'm concerned, but collectively we're fairly intelligent.
IQ is at least 70.
Right. We're fairly intelligent people to where we realize that whatever this guy is doing is bullshit. You know what I mean? And maybe people are subscribing just because they want to be entertained by bullshit. And if he managed to do that and people are stupid enough to support him for it, well, I mean, that's the way the game is played. It is what it is. I think it sucks. And I think if you subscribe to this guy and support him, then you're an idiot, absolutely. Because if you don't see right through that, we see through it, but those 7,000 people, the majority of them probably don't.
What if they do?
Good night, Tiffany.
Well, if they did, they wouldn't subscribe to him because I'm not subscribed to the guy.
Oh, I'm not. They had this thing where he said I can send you emails, to go on his website, and I clicked cancel. I was like, no, I don't need the FBI
emails.
But I see what you're saying. Justin. Is that they are subscribed to him. They might see through it, and they're subscribed to him because they think it's funny, because it's somehow humorous, but it's not. The subject matter that he's talking about is not funny at all.
It's fucked up. Or they're just on the edge of their seat, just like, what kind of stupid shit is this idiot going to say?
Same reason why people loved Howard Stern at first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so many different. I'm going to continue because this review goes to and takes a hard left. Really, really hard.
Let's hear it.
I want to hear every word that this genius says.
Like this? I don't know. I kept thinking about if I had a daughter, whether I would let her be in this movie. And either way, your daughter's going to hate you, right? Later, she's going to hate you. So
not necessarily. Not if you're a good dad.
Her career by not letting her be in this really good movie. It's well.
Do you want to hinder your future daughter's career by letting her not be in this really good movie, this really exploitative trash fire movie? My daughter hates me the rest of my life, or I don't fuck her up.
Is this guy promoting daddy issues?
And why is he reminding me of Stephen Hawking? I keep thinking he's in a wheelchair right now. What is it? Just because he's a fucking just naturally a gimp? Like just sitting there, just with no personality at all whatsoever, no anima. What's going on with this guy?
That's insulting to Stephen Hawking. He had
it is very insulting. I apologize to the memory of Stephen Hawking and his loved ones. Sorry about that. Hey, Blake Angus Reviews is in here. I love Blake Angus Reviews, man. There's a great channel.
Hi, Angus.
I assume career launching for most of the girls in it.
No, it's not.
No.
Or she's going to hate you for exploiting her, because like child actors, most of their parents are pushing them to do it. So I don't know. Like if you have a daughter who's 11 and likes doing sexy TikTok dances where she's shaking her ass all the time, and then some well-meaning and I assume not creepy filmmaker comes along and they're like, I'd like to pay your daughter to shake her ass. I guess I would say yes, but I would say it with the knowledge that she's going to be really pissed off about it later, and that we'd probably have a lot to talk about.
I don't even know. As a parent, I don't even know what to say about this statement. I just hope that if there is a God up there, he never lets this man procreate with anybody. Please.
I'm pretty sure the women are taking care of that issue.
He's got a girlfriend. We'll get into that.
Wait, what?
He's had
really
2 girlfriends. Yes, they've been together 4 years. I did my research.
Yeah, all these shitheads have weird fucking girlfriends. I don't understand it.
Saw this review and she said, this guy.
What if they don't know about his channel?
Justin. Come on.
Okay, maybe they do.
He's got some in case.
I want to have faith in humanity and women, but
I did before this review. I had faith in humanity before this review. It's all gone now, Justin. It's all gone. I'm a shell of what I was.
It would not be a comfortable yes.
What?
I'm glad it wouldn't be a fucking comfortable.
So the movie itself, what's the movie actually about? Well, this poster is very misleading because there's not that much dancing in it, actually. The movie is about a 11-year-old Muslim girl whose father has just met and gotten engaged to a second wife, and her mother is crushed by this. And it's really a scathing critique of Islam for about the first half. and the role that women.
So just to put this in perspective, because he's a terrible reviewer, no, this plot is only for about 20 minutes of the film, and then the last 5 minutes touch back on the wedding because the husband is getting married and the wife has to go, the first wife, because it's an obligation and a weird Islam thing that they got going on over there. And I want to preference something. I don't have a problem with this plot if it was the rest of the movie. It's not at all.
It's not the plot, right? I got you.
It ropes you in because the fucking girls dancing, you weirdo, doesn't rope me in. I saw this, and for the first 20 minutes, I was bamboozled because I thought, people are getting mad for no reason. And then, oh boy, it just got worse and worse. And I'm just like, no. Like, no, guy. Don't.
Is this Cuties right here? This is. Oh
Yes,
man, I don't even want to see clips of this shit.
Women are
yeah, he
forced
loves
to
this.
play
You know, he had to interweave it in his
Muslim
review.
families and societies.
He
So
had-
this girl. Seeing that her mother doesn't
he's a
even
troll,
really buy into
dude.
the idea
He's a
of the
fucking
father having
troll.
a second wife, and seeing the heartbreak and on a basic total second class citizen stature of women in Muslim societies.
I really wonder how many takes he
Is
had to
horrified, and
It
The
takes a
dead man
troll to know a troll.
so
That's
she
a troll.
sees her neighbor is doing these sexy dances.
I agree.
In the laundry room, and she starts getting involved with this neighbor girl and their group, and flips out way in the opposite direction. And for the rest of the movie, she's basically going back and forth, witnessing the atrocities in both styles of life. And if the movie has a point, I think it's just that you can leave your cult without joining another. So at the end of the movie,
You can
her
leave your-
family's trying to pressure
What?
her to go to this wedding, and her dance friends are pressuring her to perform at this event. And midway through the event, she has this breakdown and leaves, and rushes home. And her family berates her, or her great aunt berates her, and her mother's kind of stepping in the way and defending her, and telling her to get ready to go to her father's wedding. And there's this like horrible, terrifying shot of her seeing her father's new wife, which really freaked me out, and I'm sure has something to do with both of my parents remarrying and me being
shut up.
horrified by that.
No one cares.
At the very end,
nobody asked you about your fucking parents. Shut the fuck
you can
up.
tell her mother is thinking of.
I just want to say that clearly this man's parents have failed him.
It's fucking quite obvious.
You know what? I think they did the right thing. They're like, look what
It
we've
sucks,
done.
dude.
Oh, that is
The whole
that
wedding
is so
ceremony
mean
too,
for
and
me to
leaving
say,
her
but
husband.
I don't care.
But she's too entrenched, and you see this like very
Oh.
sad and touching scene where she basically tells her daughter, "You don't have to go to the wedding. I'm not going to force you to do this."
It's
but
so
I'm
touching.
going."
So touching. After all the booty
Basically saying
shaking,
you
she
can escape,
sticks up
but it's
for
too
her
late for me.
daughter. Doesn't
And,
discipline her. Great, riveting
Amy
stuff.
doesn't
10
go,
out of 10.
and she changes her clothes. She doesn't wear the traditional outfit, the wedding dress that she's been dreading wearing. Which one scene she's bleeding in her closet. There's some like weird surreal stuff.
Oh, yeah,
but
so
only very
surreal.
little.
So-
You're the weirdest
which
part of
kinda
this
made it
whole
weird.
movie, and you're just
And
reviewing
she
it.
doesn't wear her slutty like dancer getup that she's wearing before, and she just wears like clothes that make it feel like it's her, that she is just gonna be herself now. Which at age 11, shit, good for you. So the movie I think has a pretty positive message, and it's
Yeah, so much positive messaging. Let me see. Girl plays with the condom and blows it up into a balloon. Takes a picture of her private parts and puts that on Instagram.
That in the movie?
Yeah. True scene. It happened. I am scarred forever.
I'm so glad I never watched this shit. That is
Don't ever do
so
it.
gross.
Oh, it's actually worse than the trailers.
It's so
I
much.
feel like
worse,
you're
Justin.
tattooed. You know what I'm saying? Like if you click on something like Zod, you're tattooed with fucking somebody who watched Cuties. Like you're, it's on you now. Like you can never shake that. Like it happened.
It's one of those movies, and there's another critic on here that I like who did a review on it too. And I felt her after watching this. I go, I know what you went through because I survived too. That's what it felt like. This movie broke me. It was, I couldn't even, if I wanted to, make a review about this film because I don't want to relive it ever again. That's how traumatizing this was for me. And this guy loved it. 10 out of 10. This movie asked the hard questions that nobody in the fucking world ever wanted to ask. There's a reason why there aren't 50 of these movies floating out there, because most directors have the good common sense not to fucking make a movie like this. But not Dufu or whatever the fuck her name is. Jesus Christ.
It's nice to see it.
Oh, just lovely.
Together.
Nice to see it come together.
So there's also a lot of social commentary laced throughout the movie, which I thought was pretty good.
Pretty great. Great.
So the first time we see someone dancing, it is an 11-year-old girl, but it's shot so that we, I think, are supposed to not know if it's a woman.
No. False. 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 It is not. It's not shot like that, dude. It's not. It is clearly shot the way it was shot. There was.
Or a young girl. And, I mean, that alone just raises interesting questions. I think the whole thing, the title, Cuties, and I don't speak French well enough to know how accurate that is. It's a great title because we already sexualize children. When we tell a child that they're cute, we are telling them that they're attractive. And
what? Oh, I forgot about this part. This is the line that wins him the Oscar, people.
Attractiveness is only one thing. It's sex. Attractiveness leads to sex.
No, it does. No.
Attraction is just attraction. It doesn't have to be.
Dude, if attraction led to sex inevitably, then my dick would have fell off. Like, it doesn't. It doesn't necessarily work that way at all. Like, what is this guy talking about?
I mean, that gives a whole new meaning to coming attractions. My God.
There's never been a situation where a guy looks at a girl and goes, I'm attracted to her. I got a 50-50 shot she's attracted to me. Hey, you want to have sex? That's not maybe in your fucked up, wacky world, that's how conversations work.
I mean, no.
Like,
this is the point of it where it stops becoming funny.
It's like, this is.
And it's all like connected. Like, you have sex, and then a cute baby comes out, and then the cute baby grows up to become a cute adult, and then the cute adult has sex. So we're already constantly telling little girls, especially little girls, how pretty and how cute they are. And this film kind of asks you, well, taking that to its logical extreme, here's what it is. It's like the ultimate in cuteness. I mean,
no, you're contributing to sexualizing children. You fuck.
I don't think I've never seen child porn, but I haven't.
I don't believe you, guy.
That it's
I don't
probably
believe you.
not cute.
I think you're curious about it now, though. You fucking weirdo.
A terrifying awareness, and I imagine the child is traumatized and completely checked out, and not in any sort of position of agency or power to be considered cute. So this might be, I don't know, this might be it. This might be the apex of the latent, unspoken, unidentified things you are
normalizing child molestation.
So pretty. Look how beautiful you are. Try this outfit on. Look at your little tiara. If you strip away all the cushioning of that, and you look at what it is, you're objectifying your child. And so this is that kind of laid bare. And
on a serious note, all joking aside, even if this is a troll, even if this person is just totally messing with us, the fact that you can actually say that when anybody tells their kid that they're cute, in no way, it's the simplicity behind the statement. Being a parent and then having relationships are two very different things. They're two, most normal people have totally different concepts. So when you call your child cute, you mean in a loving way, that they're adorable, they have awesome features, you want them to know how special they are. There is nothing, unless you're this fucking weirdo, there is nothing in that statement or in that terminology towards a child that is supposed to mean anything else but giving them a compliment so that they have a boost of self-esteem, that they feel good about themselves, or just let them know how much you love them. Like, that is spoken, and God help us that this man never reproduces, that is spoken from someone who does not have children and understand the bond between a parent and a kid. I think even people who don't have children can understand that those are two very different things. This is the part where I get a little bit upset because
it's an interesting critique. The movie's not critiquing child stripper dance competitions. The movie's critiquing the way you look at and
the private chat real
talk
quick?
to and think about children, and it's
What's
not even
that?
telling you.
Can you check the private chat real quick? Yeah, you can keep going.
Yeah, go ahead, you can.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt, guys.
Necessarily, but just to be aware of it and the effects that it can have, which I thought was pretty cool. I think there's some good stuff in the movie about, and this is kind of obvious from the trailer, but how the grass is always greener on the other side. That as a repressed Muslim, you might think that there's all this freedom in dancing slutty, but so I think the message is that it's horrible to be a woman in any culture, and that you kind of have to find your own way. That said, the movie is also clearly saying it is much, much, much worse to be a Muslim woman than it is to not be anything else, basically. But the movie shows us that women are repressed in different ways in different societies. I think kind of at the end, it's like, yeah, but it's just like, go be like a normal French person. You don't have to be like a naked dancing woman. And one way that women are oppressed in basically every society is that there's no room for their sexuality.
Wow.
I mean, even just looking at the way people are talking about the wet ass.
A normal French person. All French people are perverts.
I don't think that's any better than.
Yeah, all French people are pedophiles. Hey, you fucking idiot.
What? I don't think. Was he implying that? I didn't quite catch
That's
that.
clearly what he was implying.
Like, folks, if you see me rant or anything else like that, this is a man who has truly made it so I have no words. I literally have no words.
That took me by surprise.
Like any French person. What?
What? Brilliant.
Like, how, folks, all 29 people watching, how do you get on camera, look, and sincerely say this shit?
Yeah. Here's a fun experience. Hey, people in chat, type a 1 if you're French, type a 2 if you're offended for French people by that statement. And you're not French. Watch.
You can also type a 1 and 2 if you are both.
Type 3 if you agree.
I see nothing but 2s in this fucking chat. Watch.
Oh, God. Oh my lord.
How the hell did this guy say that shit out loud?
I've
never even spoken to somebody who didn't speak English and spoke French like a full-on French person. I've never ever spoken to somebody who, we don't understand. Yeah, that's never happened. And I'm already like, yeah, that's fucked up. Don't speak for French people, and don't generalize French people like that. What the hell is wrong with you?
KK brought up a good point, and this is why I'm doing this shilling. This guy's a special shilling. This guy is John Campia, I want to apologize for any time we've bagged on your reviews, because this guy takes a fucking cake on terrible reviews. And I'm going to prove to you guys that this was not a troll, because I'm going to show an interview where he defends his critique. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's a fucking hour long, but I'm going to show you where he defends his critique. So I feel like he's not trolling us. He really stands by his 5-star review. Fuck me. Like, people like
yeah.
He gave it 5 stars?
No, he doesn't have a rating system.
I'm sure there's a side of him that backs up the bullshit that comes out of his mouth and his mind, that he stands by it. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I do think he's a troll. Whether I think that he's aware of being a troll, I think to some degree he is, but overall, no, not really. I think he just does it compulsively. I think that he's got this weird insecurity issues that, I mean, look, the video you sent me, right? The video you sent me.
That was a complete troll, based on the backlash he got for this, 100%.
But what's funny about it is he's talented. He's clearly talented, and then he just chose to go the route of trolling instead of actually trying to inspire, trying to do something good. He just wanted to piss people off. And it's sad because, like I said, I mean, dude, the tune is catchy. I was straight up, I remember I was walking to the store and I was singing the words in my head of the hook. And I was like, dude, stop that. What are you doing? Because the song itself is actually catchy, but the words are awful, and it's I mean, okay, fair enough. You know what I mean? Okay, you trolled everybody, great. And if he's listening to this right now and he's thinking, okay, I got you. Yeah, okay, you got me. But what a waste of your talent. You know what I mean? Wouldn't you rather take something that you genuinely feel passionate about and write something with your talent? Because like I said, the dude, I mean, the rhymes flowed, the hook was catchy, but the words were straight up just existed for the sheer sake of offending people. I mean, because there's no way that I think that he's a chomo based on that. No chomo. The chomos don't do that. I talk about this stuff on my channel all the time. What they do is they hide in the shadows. They want to blend in with everybody else. They don't blast out and go, yeah, I'm a chomo. You know what I mean? They don't do that. He was doing that obviously just to get clicks and views and just to he's thinking, oh, well, I'm gonna stir some shit up. Okay, well, fair enough, man. Congratulations. You managed to do that. Now what? You know what I mean? Now what? What are you going to do now? With all that talent, that's what you have to show us? That, with all that talent, you've proved to us that you can record a song, you can write a song, record a song, and it's actually not bad in the sense of, in the musical sense, it's not bad. And make a video and put all this production in a video. And for what? Just to make people go, oh, fuck this guy. I mean, that is what speaks volumes to me about this guy. He's not to be taken seriously. He's not to be, he doesn't even deserve attention, to be honest. Like, the guy sucks. This guy sucks. You know?
What's a chomo?
It's a prison term, which is paraphrasing child molester.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we're
Angus.
almost.
I was trying to avoid, because I know he's monetized, and I know we're dropping F-bombs like crazy here. But I was trying to.
Oh, this video has no hope of getting ads. It had no
actually
hope
every time I get out of it and I log back in, there's ads running. So at least while it's live, you have the monetization. Whether or not you'll have it when it's not live anymore, that's a different story. But at the moment, you do. So.
Shit. Hey Angus, how are you?
Hey, I'm loving this conversation. There's, through the smile, I see the tears, I guess, with y'all. Comedy is usually a coping mechanism. It's like an ape thing. But no, I definitely disagree, at least in part, with Blair about this guy. I think just how he's sitting there, this is like a straight, like, sure, he could have totally rehearsed this. Maybe he's looking at a screen with these, like, maybe points to go over. But I really think this, even if it's exaggerated or he's playing it up, I really think he's, like, recalling, like, his body language to me says this is like an honest review of this movie.
And I'm going to play an interview for you guys after this that he had with this amazing podcaster. And I might link her channel. I'll put her channel in the description. But she has a podcast where she talks to this guy. And if you think this review was worse, his justification for this review is terrible. And I mean, they get into some, and I give this YouTuber credit because she goes at him. She, like, asks the questions like, hey, are you into kids? That kind of a thing. And the way he answers, I honestly feel like there's a part of this review that was serious. Like, this felt like he's giving, like, a genuine critique. Maybe some things are played up for the camera. A lot of people do that. But I honestly think this dude thinks this movie is 10 out of 10. And I watched this. I will never have the untainted soul that I had before doing the research for this movie. And this man, this has broken me, folks. I'm a shell of what I was.
You always were. You always were.
No, I had dignity proper.
He's now a shell of what he once, of the shell that he once was.
I'm
a shell of the shell.
So we're gonna finish this up, and then we're gonna go to the interview because it's the reason why I almost have to question, like, if there isn't some kind of deeper thing going on here. Like,
wasn't this guy arrested at some point for suspected terrorism?
No matter
yeah,
what you do, if you're a woman and you are open,
and he was probably trolling, and that's probably why he got off.
Going to flip out
because he wasn't actually a terrorist. Like, I'm telling you, this guy, he knows what he's doing, man. He's don't underestimate him. He knows what he's doing.
I think he does, but I also think that there is some underlining issues that he needs to not vent on YouTube. That's just my honest opinion. And
that's a lot of us actually on YouTube.
A lot of us would not do this. Even joking, trolling, there is still a line that
there's probably I see what you're saying. There's probably a deep-seated like there's some truth to all the shit that he's doing, is what you're implying.
Yeah, there's something. Right. And when we get, because this girl does a really great interview, and she gets into some stuff, and he's had some messed up stuff happen to him. But once again, I don't condone that as a thing for you to then get monetized. And when you're monetized, you have a responsibility because you're reaching an audience, and not only that you're getting paid to do it. And in a sense, whether YouTubers want to admit it or not, you have a responsibility to not take it to that limit. There's things you should not cross into.
Yeah, like I was saying, there's a moral issue. Like legally, he's in his rights to say whatever he wants, and I actually support that. But I don't, like I said, I'm not trying to get the guy shut down or anything, but we're YouTubers ourselves, and what you're doing here is bringing awareness and saying, hey, this guy's full of shit and he sucks. You know what I mean? Like, If you got a problem with what somebody's doing, then use your voice and speak up.
Exactly, because before I continue this, because that brings up a good point on some real stuff. You guys all know me. I am quick to call out shenanigans on this channel. We've been doing it for a long time, and I've been lucky enough to have this fine panel that I have of individuals who feel the same way and bring different perspectives. But what I don't co-sign on is someone like this, because it brings it destroys the credibility of all of us
YouTubers,
who are trying to bring real issues that need to be discussed and talked about. And when a fucking weirdo like this comes on and says this outlandish stuff, it throws shade on everyone else, because PB jokingly said, you're monetized now, this is your coworker. But in a sense, he's not wrong. That's not perfect.
That's such a PB thing to say. I love it.
He's not wrong. Say about it now. Again. Oh my God.
PB.
PB, what are you doing here? You're not even participating. He's fallen asleep again. That
probably. But
God bless him, he works hard. KK says, but YouTube shut down other channels. Exactly, KK. And this is why I wanted to have Mr. Glare on, because he's going through this. They will attack channels for telling the truth and doing something that needs to be said. But this asshole, who maybe he's a troll, I definitely think he's got mental issues going on, will be allowed to have 7,000 fucking people. And I'm going to pull up his comment section. They're not all bad. He's got quite a few comments. Like,
YouTube doesn't give a shit about 8 views as long as it's generating views. That's all they care about.
And you got these people in his comments going, oh yeah, fight the system. And I understand, bro. People are just overreacting.
What fucking system?
The system against pedophilia? Yeah. Okay.
You know what's weird?
Let's fight the system against pedophilia. Like, I mean, it's crazy. There's a whole subculture out there, and I've talked about this on my channel too. There's a whole subculture out there of pedophiles trying to normalize pedophilia. And trying to categorize it as a sexual orientation, which what's crazy is I agree that it is a sexual orientation to a certain degree, in the sense that I don't think that they can help their thoughts and their desires. But the problem is I don't.
You give an inch, they take a mile.
I don't agree with. I mean, it's not like being gay. If you're gay, you like men, and if you're a guy, you like men. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And there's no victims involved. There's consent that takes place. Children are incapable of consent.
Exactly.
They're incapable of it. So when you try to normalize pedophilia as some sort of sexual orientation, no, you don't get that right. It's not okay. There's no excuse for it.
Yeah,
now,
because if
you were born that way, I'm sorry if you were born that way. That's not your fault that you were born that way. But the fact of the matter is that it needs to be dealt with, because your sexual orientation victimizes people, and that's not okay.
What were you saying?
What's interesting with that is that in especially like California or Oregon, Washington, supposed to be a hotbed for this social experiment. Is orientation is part of like civil rights. All right, so if they are able to classify this legally as orientation, you cannot exclude hiring known self-confessing, whether that means like legally charged. I don't think that, but like just self-professed pedophiles, like no maps, what they call them. I'm minor attracted, but I don't touch. You know, it's like, and you would not be able to bar them from employment as a teacher with your fucking kindergartners because it's an orientation. You know, so I got a tweet.
Fuck
okay, so
with that.
So this is from a thing in 2018. I don't know if it's still around, but it's a thing. It's a screenshot. The thing is called "Virtuous Pedophiles" at whatever they're at. It says to LGBTQs, I have no desire to link "quote unquote" P with your cause. I understand why you don't like the idea. It doesn't help with your legitimate goals, but there are key parallels in the science, and there's no way to avoid them if you want to explain pedophilia. And then this guy, supposedly a PhD, in his handle says, speaking as a gay man, I believe we should include the P. To do otherwise is betray the principles that gave us our rights. And what are they doing right now? They're trying to like push puberty blockers and shit. You know, this is how wacky we've gotten. It's not just the slippery slope argument of like, oh, you Bible thumpers. Like, I'm an atheist, you know, so I don't need the Bible to be like, this is a slippery slope.
and
you
that's
see it live.
And that's why I bring up the issue of this guy, because when you have people like this who are on the platform with 7,000 subscribers, and he's got that reach, saying stuff like this, you know, within that base, you got someone who just thought he gave the greatest review of all time, who happens to be into that, and it's creating this. Well, yeah, he's bringing up good points. Like, no, I'm gonna finish this because there's only a little bit left, and I really am tired of looking at this stupid freeze frame. So, I'm so tired of looking at this smug, condescending look.
Talking about the wet ass pussy song, is
like that's even applicable.
No matter what you do, if you're a woman and you are openly sexual, a large number of people are going to flip out and not exactly be able to articulate why. And I wonder if that's even part of the backlash to this movie. Now, I guess
no,
if it were
guy,
young boys dancing,
it's not. It's not even in the discussion.
Pretty upset.
What are you talking about right now?
Maybe not as upset. But anyway, in the movie, it's interesting that
why is he comparing?
She's not even allowed to have her midriff showing around her parents. She hides under a bed to hide from her mom when her shirt's tied up, and she can't untie it in time. And then, but at school, she is called a slut because she posts a picture of her vagina on Instagram.
No shit.
Which,
yeah,
I mean, yeah, she is. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying like it's not wrong.
Right.
It's not wrong for an adult woman to post her vagina on, you know, where she wants to post her vagina. An adult woman, nothing wrong with that. Does it make her a slut? Absolutely. But that's why we call but it's okay. There's nothing wrong with being a slut. If you want to be a slut, you could be a slut. It's totally cool. If you're an adult woman, it's totally cool to be a slut.
I like sluts.
That's me too. That's why it's not okay to slut shame.
This is definitely not getting monetized.
Slut shaming is a term. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, what this guy's talking about has nothing to do with one or the other. He's sitting here and he's trying to justify somehow a child being slut shamed. Yes, a child should absolutely be slut shamed because that child does not have sexual desires yet. That child is doing something because somebody taught her to do it that way. That's why.
Exactly. And the other thing is, no parent in their right mind would. Let me tell you something. If I ever, as a little Zod, decided one day I was going to be daring and post a dick pic, and Mother Zod found out about it, I would get the most legendary ass whoop. Let me tell you something right now. If I post a dick pic right now and my mother found out about it, I'd still get an ass whooping. Are you kidding me, guy? Are you serious? If you are a parent who loves and cares about your kid, and you realize that your kid did this thing, they're going to get disciplined, and they're probably going to sit down and talk to them why the other kids in school are berating them. It's because you don't show that shit at your age. Go outside, play, enjoy life. You have plenty of time to worry about that stuff. But this guy is trying to correlate it like, oh, the plight of women because, they're just trying to express. No, there is an age gap, buddy. There's a difference between 11 fucking years old and a grown-ass woman who has the mental capacity to make that decision. It's called life experience. Clearly, you're still stuck on the other end of it.
There's no excuse for sexualizing children in the slightest bit whatsoever, or even suggesting that children should be or are sexualized freely, because children, it's not possible for a child to be freely sexualized. It's not possible. That child is a child because they are not old enough to consent to anything. So it's not okay to ever do that. So everything that this guy's talking about is bullshit. It's absolute straight bullshit.
I had this kind of defensive reaction as I was saying this. Whoever you are watching this, you're going to be like, well, of course she did. But why?
Oh my God.
I don't. Posting a picture. I've posted pictures of my dick all over the place.
Please, God, don't ever let me.
No, wait. What's this guy's name again? I want to see if I can find it.
Thing.
I don't know.
Negative connotation.
You're killing me, dude.
But
no, what channel is this? I can find it out.
Don't give him the views.
It's just interesting.
No, I've looked. There's nothing there.
We're more okay with.
He's probably having a fucking moose too.
Dude, you're such a weirdo. Why would you look at that?
No, I didn't look for the picture, you idiot. I looked at his channel.
Of her vagina and posting it on the internet, which could lead to something.
And by channel, he means dick.
He's not really.
You tried to find the penis dick.
Anybody, I guess it's embarrassing. But why?
It's not hurting anybody.
And it just shows you the
you don't know that
the repression.
Stop it.
What it must feel like
you, man. You're good,
to
dude.
be aware that you're turning into a
we love you, brother.
Dirty, disgusting, hated, awful creature as you're a girl going through puberty, and there's nobody there to make room for that.
Okay, I'm just gonna weigh in. My daughter recently is going through this, and I, in no way, shape, or form, went, "Oh my God, now you're gonna be one of those there vile prosecuted women. Brace yourself, honey. It gets rough from here." Nobody says that, you fucking weirdo. Nobody who's a loving, caring parent goes and says, "Oh, my kid's reached that stage. Now it's time to abandon ship." What the fuck are you talking about?
No, that's when you put your seatbelt on and you fucking
down the
wheel. That's dig a trench and you dig in.
That's real. Yeah, that is absolutely real.
Literally,
that is when the parenting really kicks in.
My daughter was just crying because she won't see her teachers again, which sad. And I love you, Sierra. This guy makes me
right there. That's
really love my daughter, but she's getting those emotions, and I never thought, well, oh my God, she's turned into one of those women. Now I can't have any contact because women have this plight, she's just gonna be this out of control thing. No, what are you talking about?
I mean, you know what that is, Zod? You know what that is? That's description of a pedophile. No, real. Listen. What happens is a pedophile. What happens is they dismiss. They'll have feelings for a child, and then once they reach a certain age, they dismiss them and they find the next child. They're no longer attracted to them because they reached an age that no longer interests them. That's what he just fucking described, basically.
And I've got a 99-cent super sticker. Thank you again, Johnny Zeb's girl. It is a throwing up face. Trust me, I'm right there with you. I really wish I was stronger for this.
Can I answer Karen? I don't know if she's trolling or not, but when the being a slut thing came up, she's like, "Well, but why does that make a woman a slut?" Regardless of your morality, religion, that you stricter or looser with those definitions, but just like baseline humanity, the more free you are, especially if it's like so minimal to that you're going to share your cooter online. Plenty guys would bang multitudes of porn stars, but the same guys, unless you're a beta or whatever, there's already had there. But generally speaking, a respectable guy with things looking up for him that would not settle for a porn star. He wants, that preservation or the assumption of preservation. That he has paternal guarantees. With like that's a subconscious thing. It's not indoctrinated by the Bible or Islam or whatever like that. Some guys want, you see it in lions. Lions take over a pride, they kill the children so they can make their own. It's something ingrained in most male animals, and so men are held to esteem when they can, open many doors, so to speak. But a door that opens to every key, well, that's not very valuable. It's kind of de facto how I would explain like why a guy can say a guy's a slut, but like if he can land a bunch of girls, like it's harder for guys to do that. So there's a value. That's just the inequity of the sexes.
Wow, that shit got deep. I don't even know half of those words, but thank you. I feel like I've learned something tonight. Yeah, I mean, it's two different values is what we're saying. It's like you can't put a value on an 11-year-old girl because the age of consent is not there and she is still developing. There should not even be a question or a conversation about a child dabbling into this thing. They should be kids. They should be running around and not thinking about this shit. It's more of as you get older and you have the capacity to start making choices for yourself and deciding what's right and what's wrong, that's when you can go and exploring these things. But if you don't have a comprehension, yes, thank you, Father Saad said, that's not what the movie is saying. Exactly. It's not saying that. It is totally what this guy said several times in his review. It's an exploitation of kids. That's all it is. There's no deeper meaning, nothing to pull. That's some kind of deep insight.
But even if there is a deeper meaning, even if that's the case, and there's supposed to be a deeper meaning, it doesn't change the fact that they sexualize kids to tell a story, and it's not okay.
Exactly.
It's just not okay, no matter what. There's no just word, it's not happening. This is something that I don't know, man. It just really makes me mad that that this even has to be a conversation, because common sense simply dictates you do not, a kid is not ready for these thoughts. A kid is not capable of making decisions like this. The point of sex at the end of the day is what it's procreation, right? Reproduction,
bonding.
Now it is for pleasure too, sure, but you don't get to responsibly indulge in the pleasure without genuinely understanding the procreation part of it. And there's no way that a kid could truly understand that. There's just no way.
Yeah, like just if you're talking like 11-year-old, like what, a couple years before that, they're still eating crayons. They think they're dinosaurs,
right?
And shit.
They're blasting lipstick all over their face because they don't know what sex appeal actually is. They just see women who have sex appeal. They can observe. They're not stupid. 11-year-old kids are not stupid. They can observe that there's some sort of attraction, and so they want to emulate that in some way, shape, or form, but they don't know how, and they don't know why that emulates attraction, or why they don't understand why these women are attractive. You know, they can sit there. 11-year-old has the intelligence to observe a grown woman be attracted or be attracted by a grown man or a grown woman or what have you, whatever. It doesn't matter. But they can observe the action taking place, but they have no way of understanding why it's taking place. And until you can understand why this takes place, you have no business in the act that could bring life into this world. Period.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, and here's the thing. I get the concept of what they were going for, but the way that it was done, it doesn't bring out the message that the person is trying to convey. My honest opinion is, if you took all of this controversial stuff out of the film, one, it would be very boring, and two, I think that the person doesn't lean into the whole she's a Muslim thing and how is she dealing with her father marrying another woman. I think that'd be an interesting concept for a film because it would dive into that cultural thing. But throwing
that was
in,
just a small aspect of the film, is what you're saying.
That angle itself is ballsy as fuck to call out. You know, this is a French film, and France is one of the most popular. I don't mean that like positive. They have one of the most popular terrorist attacks, Charlie Hebdo, for a publication that drew Allah or Muhammad. I can't remember which one, but that's why they got shot up by Muslims. You know, and the EU's had this huge problem with non-conforming, non-westernizing immigrants who are Islamic. You know, they're not coming to the EU to be citizens. They're there to make it, you know, Europe stand. So, like, the fact that they even addressed that at all, that this issue, the like butting heads cultures. I give them props for that because, like, when I saw this, I was like, "Wow, this is getting weird." But they're calling out Muslims, you know, for, you know, when all the LGBT, the rainbow people, everything on the left wants to like hold hands with every minority, despite the fact that most minorities hate the LGBT, especially that religion.
They're stoning people and things like that, and that should be highlighted in a film or shown if you want to be gutsy or whatever else. But the angle of throwing in the culture of dance and stuff is where I get confused. Because I get where you're going, but I feel like you're taking two very different subjects and putting them in. And look, the shots in this film. If you want to show that these young girls are doing something inappropriate, you can pan the camera to kind of show, okay, they're doing this dance, and we can use our imagination. But they leave nothing. Like, some of the angles on this movie, it's like, do you have to go that far with the camera to get your point across? Do you need a wide shot? I mean, just the direction and the fact that this person can sit up and defend and be like, oh yeah, this is a great movie, 10 out of 10. I'm gonna go rewatch it because I forgot stuff. Guys,
I gotta see what I missed. I gotta find the deleted scenes.
I really hate to do this, guys, but I do gotta get off of here.
Oh,
I think Proper Me can hang out with Zod still. You've been having some great commentary, Blair.
No, I love talking with you guys. Like, I always have a blast talking with you guys. But
whatever you do,
it's been a crazy night tonight, and I you know, there's a lot going on, and so I really have to address other things right now, and I apologize. But I love you guys. Yeah, and
Blair, I will just real quick, whatever you do not click on the links in the private chat.
Yeah, we found this guy's video. I'm not going to be linking that to anybody because I won't be clicking on anything anymore.
Wait, did you click on it?
No, I'm not clicking on that.
No,
I'm not clicking on that.
Good.
I can't do it properly.
But dude, no, and Zod, I just, while I got you, while you have me up here, I want to thank you so much for your support as far as the last 24 hours have been. Man, you know, anything that I can do for you, man, you know, I got you. But it was great. I really appreciate all your support and all your help.
Hey man, it's not a problem. I think that good content creators like yourself getting screwed over like that is not cool. And it's also part of my inspiration of doing something on this guy, because the fact of the matter is that this guy can sit here and say the stuff, and like you said in the beginning, he has the right to say that. But if you're going to impose this censorship, then you should be fair across the board.
I agree.
Why are these videos allowed to be circulated? And you do something about a legitimate case with real victims. You're coming at it saying, hey, this is wrong, and we need to look at all angles and, break this down. And this company, this company flags, you're promoting them. They should be thanking you that you were broadcasting it on your channel.
Right.
It baffles my mind.
Yeah, it was so petty of them to do that, but I don't want to turn this live about that, but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be okay in the end. It's just but there's no way I'm not gonna blast them for doing what they did. It was really, really petty and ridiculous, and they're in a position with a lot of subscribers to do really good, and to try to shut up somebody like me who's smaller, who just wants to do good, and was actually kind of paying tribute to them in a way. It's just sad. So yeah, I'm gonna call them out on it. I'm gonna fight it, and it's nice to have everybody in the community support, because everybody's been really supportive. But yeah, and big shout out to Cherry K and Tart with a Heart. By the way, they're like my best mods in the world. And yeah, they've been amazing. And so much love to Cherry K and Tart with a Heart. I just wanted to give them a big shout out.
Well, we're always glad to have you here, and I'm glad I could bring a little bit of levity, because we're laughing and joking, but it's a serious thing, and I think why we all start laughing and stuff, it's a nervous thing, because it's just like, wow, this is actually a person saying this out loud. It's like just mind boggling.
Yeah. No, I watched that video and I was just like, okay, I see what he's doing. It's a bad move. You know what I mean? Like what a waste. Like the rhymes flow, everything. You know what I mean? Like it's like the guy's clearly talented. So I mean, what a waste. It's just sad, Get your shit together, man, and write something that you're actually passionate about. You're afraid to face your own passions. That's pathetic. You've got all this talent, and you're showing us that you got all this talent, and it's like, okay, look, I got all this talent, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna not acknowledge it because I'm afraid of acknowledging it. No, challenge yourself. Take that talent and do something really positive with it, and challenge yourself, and be ready for the world to hate you for it. It's okay. Don't just put yourself, don't do the cowardly thing and just make yourself hate it all automatically and go for hate. You know what I mean? Do something. The truly ballsy thing to do is to do something that you love, and really do something really positive, and try to express something that you're really passionate and caring about, and be ready to take the criticism for it, but understand there's going to be support there too, even if it's just 2 or 3 people, man. Who cares? But this guy's like, okay, well, I know I'm going to get a shit ton of views if I just go this route, and I'm going to get a shit ton of subscribers who are going to go if I go this route, because they're going to be shocked. I mean, that's cowardly, man. That's cowardly.
Hate you.
Yeah, it's cowardly. Dude, I love your channel. I love Rob's channel, because you guys, Rob Rules channels, because you guys get up here, you talk about, you're passionate about the Johnny Depp thing. I know I troll it, and I just do it for fun, because you guys know that I truly believe what you guys believe. I just do it to make the chat more interesting and fun, and be silly. But you guys love what you're doing, and you're truly passionate about what you're doing. and you know, you're gaining your subscribers slowly. Your channel is growing. It's always progressing a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. You're not losing anybody. You're just gaining, and you're okay with the pace that's taking. And I love that, and that's respectable. You know, what this guy's doing, he's going the coward's way. You know, because what's going to happen? He's a flash in the pan. You know, he's going to get all these subs and he's going to get a month or two's worth of pay from YouTube, and then he's just going to like die out. He's going to be canceled. Nobody's going to give a shit what he has to say. You know, okay, that was shocking. It was funny. Great. Okay, now what? What do you got now? You know, now we know you're a troll. So anything that you do moving forward, we're going to be like, okay, this guy's just trolling, old hat. He sucks. You know what I mean? But when you really care about what you're talking about, you're gonna build, man. You're gonna build, and you're okay with the slow pace, because the following you're getting is genuine.
I will say though, his trolling is put into question after watching those videos. My God, maybe he is serious.
I mean,
maybe. I totally think he's serious.
I mean, this has to be super method. Like it
is super method. That's the thing. You don't underestimate a guy like that. It's clearly super method. But once he's exposed for it, then where does he have left to go? But when you actually care about what you're talking about, then you have nowhere to go but where your heart leads you. You just keep going, man. You know what I mean? That guy doesn't have that. He's going the wrong route. And it's whatever. He deserves it, because he's pissing people off too. I heard that stupid song and I was like, that's not funny. You know, I get that he's trying to be funny, but I'm not laughing. You know what I mean? Because he's talking about a serious issue that's not funny at all. You know, have you ever talked to a victim of SA? I have. Many.
Yeah, that's a serious thing, and that's why I wanted to bring this up tonight and do a shilling about this guy, because, like, it's sad that there will.
I'm glad you did.
Because it's sad there will be there is legitimately positive comments in this thing where they're giving encouragement, and it's like, this is the type of stuff that kills the credibility of people like us who are actually passionate about the things we talk about. And it gives this view that, like, you know, if you come out and say something serious and against something, you're just trolling that thing. And it's like, no, I really dislike what's going on here, but because we've got these weirdos who are allowed. And the biggest thing that pisses me off about it is this censorship thing that everybody else seems to get hit with, except for guys like this. Like, this dude was banned for 3 months and came back on a second channel. And what makes me think that this guy has something going on is because if you look at his early videos, which he had to remove, there is stuff about there with him sympathizing with school shooters, all sorts of crazy shit. Where this was before this video. This was before his channel blew up. Like, shit he was talking about was getting him to like 1K. When this hit, he got to 3K. He came back to 7K. It baffles my mind. Like, how? Why?
Well, I mean, it's obvious how. It's obvious how. It's just, but what you got to understand is just, I see this all the time. That one of the most valuable things that one of the most valuable observations I've made on YouTube recently is I see people that have 15,000 subscribers, right? And when they do live streams, they have maybe 20 people in their chat. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that speaks volumes of that channel, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because what happened was that they jumped on a bandwagon. They got a bunch of views. They got a bunch of subscribers because they were like, this is the hottest new thing right now. And then what happens is as soon as that hottest new thing becomes yesterday's news, then they're unarmed. They have no more content. They have no more anything to add to anything. And then there's just those 20 faithful people that they're sitting there going, thanks for guys for sticking around. Love you guys. You know, which could be me tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Which is fine. But what I'm saying is, you know, this is not anything to really worry about. A guy like that is not anything to really worry about. He's not a threat. Sort of at the moment right now, but in the grand scheme of things, probably not. No, he's not a threat. People see through it. And people who subscribe to him for the reasons that he aimed for them to subscribe to him will see through it. They're going to get bored inevitably. The formula dictates that they're just going to get bored, you know, because he sucked them in with shock. So there's only so long that people are shocked before they're just bored. You know what I mean? So this guy's not hardly a threat in any way, shape, or form in the grand scheme of things necessarily. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and I see where you're coming from with that, because just the the baffling thing is that he's been on the platform for 3 years, and I just think about it, it's just like, holy shit, like I don't even know what to say, and I have no clue what to say, because when I was digging into this and going into interviews, people talking with this guy, like, he definitely has some things he's got to work out. Like, there's some personal deep-seated issues, but
that's one way to put it.
like,
yeah, called an inevitable deep investigation into his life.
He's the map. He's the map. He's the map.
Hey, Zod, I love you, man, and thanks everybody for the great chat, man. I had a great time. I gotta go though, but I love you, man. Appreciate you, dude.
No problem. You're always welcome here in the fandom zone.
As well as the Glare, man. You're always welcome, or just Glare for now until the Glare is back up. But yeah.
what happened with the Glarer?
I got copyright struck. I got a strike, and I was streaming a murder trial, and I was I was streaming another YouTube channel's murder. You know, they were streaming the murder trial.
You're stream sniping.
Well, but
I'm not. That's not negative. I'm just saying you were stream sniping.
No. Yeah, technically, yeah, sure, I was, but I was doing it for the right reasons, and it was under fair use by YouTube's terms of service.
Oh, you know they don't follow that shit.
Well, yeah, because YouTube's terms of service dictates that as long as I'm adding commentary over it, as long as it's news, as long as it is considered, or it can be, and these are all ors, not these all have to be the thing. As long as you meet one of these guidelines, it's fair use. But I met all of them. And I got struck. And what happens is YouTube strikes you and then asks questions later. They give you the chance to dispute it. So I disputed it, but in the meantime, I got to sit in YouTube jail and wait. So I started another channel. Cherry K shared the link earlier, but I started another channel, just an alternate channel, so I could still do live streams, but mostly just for my Patreons. I have a Patreon, and I can't do that to them. So I need to continue to provide my Patreons the content that they're paying for. So I started the other channel so that I could still do that.
Hey, Ancient One, good to see you in here. The Ancient One just said hi to the whole panel. Great to see you, Generation Productions. I had one comment for you before you says,
I saw that.
Yeah. Would not be right, because Nutjobs may actually agree with the ass hat, joking or not. He's still at risk to incite a real act, which
fair enough, but we, you know, we're not responsible for the ass hats.
Yeah, that gets in like
the ass
gun
hats are
control
responsible for themselves.
talk.
Exactly, Black Angus. Exactly. The ass hats are responsible for themselves. The ass hats are grown up adults who can make decisions on their own, and if they follow that, then that's on them. Because otherwise, because if we start controlling what people say on the internet, then that's a slippery slope, man. And you know, you don't get to cherry pick what is controlled and what isn't.
Yeah,
You
Alex
know, in
Jones
my
got
personal
canned for
opinion.
that.
Right.
Because he's a gateway drug to the alt right, to be a mass shooter, to be a proud, but whatever their reasoning,
Right.
it's the same idea.
Right.
And at some point, when you see, like, it's already happened in Crowder multiple times, I've been waiting for like the quartering, or if they dig into a smaller subgroup like Jeremy and Geeks and Gamers. I'm surprised they haven't been targeted yet, because they're big enough.
Dude, before I go, I gotta say, man, Black Angus, it was a pleasure to be on panel with you. Like, I really genuinely love your channel. I really hope it blows up, because I love your. I know.
He's been trying for a couple years now.
I love your. It's the problem is, dude, I would shill the hell out of your channel, but nobody in my chat's gonna give a shit about that. They're true crime junkies. They only watch documentaries on true crime. You know, like they literally, like, that's all I watch is ID channel and blah 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 blah.
How about,
you know what I mean?
this,
Whereas,
though?
like, I'll hear you do a review on a movie, and I'm just like, yes, you know.
Wow, I had no idea. I didn't know you had a
Loki.
channel either. I just subbed to both of them.
Oh man,
so I'll be
no, I
looking-
think your channel.
I like Discovery ID kind of shit. So
yeah, I would love to collab with you, like, you know, just on movies, just to talk shit about movies. Like, I love your take on them, man. Like, I really do.
you're gonna like what me and Rookie are going to be doing. We
Right on.
watch that Into the Unfamiliar, and you'll get a taste of what's coming. Where it's not just big pop culture event film that is just kind of mindless, or no one really digs into the depth of the meaning. None of that. We're doing that. We're doing the depth.
I hear success in your voice, dude. I promise you that. Like, you're gonna blow up like crazy. It's just a question of, like, the right person getting their ear, and then you just keep doing what you're doing, man. Like, but you definitely have my support. Absolutely. I love your channel. I love it.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, Zod, I love you, man. PPE, Justin, thank you guys. Chat, I love you guys. And I will see you soon, guys.
I hope so.
Good to see you here, Loki. We were just talking about YouTuber Mr. Girl and the outlandish things that he was saying in his review of Cuties, and just kind of breaking it down. And what I wanted to do with this shilling was slightly different, and getting to the actual person and what they could be thinking. Is this a troll? Is he for real? And after an extensive research on this guy, his website, his channel, I think everything after that video review is a troll on people because of the backlash that he got. But I think everything before that, leading up to the review, that it makes the review a genuine review, because his views and the things he talks about kind of lends to me going, yeah, some part of this review was from a serious place. And my beef with it is a person who has a large platform that is sort of saying these outlandish things and roping people into it. Meanwhile, we're all sitting here talking about whatever we talk about, and we get strikes and copyright claims and things like that. I find it really fascinating, because how is it someone who thinks this movie is so spectacular and talks about the shit he talks about, and it's fine? Like, there's only a couple of videos he actually didn't monetize that were like, oh, okay, whatever. But the rest of it was monetized, so it's for profit. But it's so scummy, and I think it fosters this idea of for us other YouTubers who are trying to be legitimate in our commentary and what we're trying to get out to people. It really delegitimizes our channels, because we've got idiots like this who put on stupid shit like that for people to view. And I think it's kind of unfair. and that it needs to be addressed. It says, so I got the panel together to get everyone's ideas because, and I brought it to everyone's attention because, I can't be the only one who feels like in what we do, you can be edgy, but there still has to be a line that you shouldn't cross. There should be things that, if we want to talk about, they're handled delicately and they take into consideration the topic to which we're talking about it. You could be edgy about something. You could be edgy by just bringing up the topic and discussing it. But how you go about it is the key. The respect that you pay the issue is what's important. And we have a responsibility to convey that, because there could be people watching who have gone through what you're talking about and you're treating it like a fucking joke. And it's very personal to me. It's disgusting being in this community and talking with all of these fine people and knowing these people in the chat and knowing that some of them went through some crazy shit, and having someone who's out here disgracing someone who's gone through these real issues is disgusting, and it's an exploitation within itself. And I don't feel people should get a pass on that shit. It's with any channel. Like, there's a difference between overhyping shit and blowing it up and going on, SJW things and all of that. That's, we all have our things and tangents that we'll go off on. But when you're talking about an issue like cuties, or when you're talking about an issue like domestic violence and things like that, you don't hit that subject with a sledgehammer, because you don't know who's watching and who really went through it, who is still going through the after effects of that. It's just something that you need to handle delicately, because it's a delicate situation. And me, even being an asshole on my channel, can acknowledge that, because there is certain things that I don't touch for specific reasons, because if I don't feel like I can give it the care it deserves, then I'm not going to talk about it. I mean, does anyone on the panel disagree with me on that?
Not on this. So this is a first.
No, I think you're doing good handling this, and it does kind of fit. I didn't think about this topic. How you're going about it does fit with like the Amber Heard case. One thing I'd say, though, I guess, like, I'm always outside the box. I'm always trying to like find a nag or self-reflect, look in the mirror. And one thing I'll say about this, and like this guy specifically, or these kind of statements that he says, given the sphere, and even if you don't fandom menace, like, there's a huge sphere of us that we're all kind of intermingled, and it's all kind of rooted fandom menace. All right, so this big old sphere of adjacents and formers, whatever. A lot of us, even if we didn't watch, the idea of supporting Chappelle, knowing that he told some edgy anti-left jokes, like he coined alphabet people as a joke, like people run with, dismissing, like, they run with it for sure. Yeah, okay, but we saw the criticism of him and how slanted it was, when it was like clearly everyone that watched this just loved it. He was back, and it had balls. It's, and there's like an artistic integrity to that, but the critics shit on it, made it like below 50 on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff. It was a clear, like, what do you call it, like Rico, where it's like everyone's like colluding together to try to trash this and not get it seen and stuff. And they try to tie like the trans woman that he met, trying to be a comedian, ended up like killing herself. They try to like rope him into that and shit. All right, so this whole huge community was like defending Chappelle. One of the big jokes in there at like the first 3 minutes is a big pedophile joke with Macaulay Culkin and Michael Jackson. So if you could defend that, or his right to say it, like in the same instance, even though it's a very different take, very different angle with the subject matter, you have to be able to defend this guy, like Larry was talking about, his right to this.
Well, here's the difference, though. Dave Chappelle is joking. This guy is not.
Well, jokes are only funny if there's a hint of truth or like, well, you know, there's some like reality reflected in it. It's not really funny.
And also there are people who are not as good as Dave Chappelle doing this because it's Dave Chappelle. You know, and it's not just because of the fact that he did it. It's the way that you do it, the way you convey your message, the way where it's very clear that it is very absurd. You know, he's
I'm not talking about whether it's a joke or not, because I just said like
okay.
This Mr. Girl guy is not like, I don't think he's joking. I think after this and the flack he got, I think he's just ran with it like, I'm gonna troll you fuckers for crying about my honest like review and reflecting on like, it really, this is one of these like come to Jesus moments in film for this guy, and he's like really just like putting it out there like, oh, this movie made me like question like the reality of society and you know, areas I never conceived to think about before, and it's like hitting him in the face. I think this movie really did for him the intent of the artist, of the director, and I think that says something on its own. Most people are just already got a wall up.
I'm very impressed that you're taking this so seriously. And actually thinking about it instead of, you know, doing what I do and I'm just like making fun of it the whole time. That's just what I do.
Yeah, no, I think this guy has a lot of truth about like the intent of this piece of art. You know, it's a film, and there's a message. Yeah. So like, you know, there's a real artistic integrity to this film, I think, despite it going way off the rails in its delivery and creation to talk about what it's talking about. So yeah, no, I take this guy like at his word. Everything he's saying, I'm totally buying that this is his perception of this film, and I think he actually has a lot of good points about the intent and the subject matter. But it, you know, a lot of people are just going to stonewall from even seeing that insight because of how it was captured, and I totally understand that, and I think it's really crossing a line to like have these, you know, you only need one shot of, you know, intentional like booty shots on 11-year-old girls, like a rap video, to like hammer the point like this is uncomfortable, like we shouldn't be doing this, we're crossing. And the fact that this whole movie is about that, and yeah, I'm
but exactly, like
the ball's on you to defend that. You know, good on you, I guess. I wouldn't.
The thing about free speech, especially being American, is like not necessarily the film. You know, some of the IMDb warnings were very in depth, like paragraphs about like sexual exploitation. Like they even said that. But then when it got more audience seeing these warnings, the quote unquote white nationalists on Twitter, our realm, you know, generally conservative leaning people or moderates or common sense people, this became like a political thing. And that's when you got like, oh, they're just trashing because a black woman made this film, you know, disingenuous arguments we've been dealing with. And so IMDb censored their warnings, and they just like gave like a blase, like, oh, like little girls dance in booty shorts, not like, oh, there's like a 16-year-old that shows her tit, because it's like the age of consent for nudities like younger in Europe, you know. So it's like they actually had like explicit pedophilic warnings, and then they changed it because of like pressure, because of the reception.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to dive into this whole situation, because there's a lot to be said, and Squirrel actually gave me the idea, because she said, because when we normally do a shilling, we just trash the person because it's stupid and it's funny to mock them, but this really lent to a full-on discussion, because I didn't want to just approach this shit like this guy's just an asshole. I wanted to dive into how is this person thinking and viewing it, because, you know, there's some kind of other explanation leading up to this, and when you watch his other videos that came way before this review, there are some fucked up videos he made that he was clearly seriously talking on. So this is kind of like, to me, the culmination of everything he created before this, and someone just happened to know it because Cuties happened to make all of the drama. So everybody who ever did a review got massive reviews, and then someone who makes a positive review, of course he was going to get hits on that. Like that title alone, you go, wait, what? An honest review? Like, you're like, boom. And then you start listening to him talk and go, holy shit, are you serious, guy? Good night, Hen. I'm glad that you that came by. Loki's Morning Mischief had a good point. Some people do this out of love for their IP or the friends and family and chat. Some people for money. It's always the ones that only care about money or fame, he meant to say, because he corrected it later, that you have to watch out for. And the thing is with this, I think that the latter half of the channel, he was like, oh yeah, I got this controversy, so I'm coming hard at all of these people. But I think from this interview or this review, that he really meant those points. And to an extent, I understand what you're trying to convey, but this is the same thing that's missing in Hollywood. It's not what you say, but it's how you say it and how you deliver it. And what I played for you guys, that was piss poor delivery and a very poor choice of words. When you're trying to go, you could bring up the art part without like getting specific. Like he really and then connecting things that don't connect. It's almost like he doesn't see the correlation between what he's saying versus what the movie is showing, because they're two very different things. And like I said, if this movie would have just focused on the girl and her struggles in the Islamic culture, aces, good for you. You had the balls to put it out there. But throwing in that felt very Americanized. It felt commercialized. And that's when I started feeling like an exploitation of these girls. And that's where you have a problem. And it's not just this film. Every film has this issue with the duality of what they're creating. They have a message that might be a good message that I might be on board with, but then they put in something that has nothing to do with it, and it's very symbolic of this review, because this review literally does the same exact thing. I understand the points this person's trying to convey, even though they're completely on the wrong side of this. That's just my own opinion. But the way it's delivered excuse me, the way it's delivered is poor. And the fact that you double down on it and you don't come out and say, well, hey, look, I'm not apologizing for how I feel about this film, but maybe I could have conveyed things a little bit differently, This dude goes on multiple YouTube videos, and I reached a 2-hour mark. I really don't want to dive into it because I got to call the fathers on and things like that. But the way that he chose to dive into this subject and speak about it, I think was very irresponsible. And there was not a lot of thought. Like maybe he went in his mind, yeah, I'm going to get backlash, but he really didn't see the consequences of saying what he said. Because those were some very hot takes, to say the very least. And if you're going to say something like that, you better have proof to back up your claim before you make a video like that. When we put shit out, or when I go live, and this is a critique on my reading, right? If I mess up, that's out there. I mess up reading. I do it habitually. It's a fun little thing, and people like tuning in, and I know I'm going to do it, and it's out there. But so what? But when you say stuff where you're co-signing for a movie like this, all right, and you're showing clips and stuff, and hey, you showed clips to kind of try to back up your argument, but you've got to then make some pretty valid reasons for you getting behind this. And if you're saying some outlandish shit and not connecting your points well, then people are going to call you out on it, as they should, because you're taking on a very touchy subject. And there's going to be people pissed off. And like you said, Angus, they're going to be walled off and not want to look at this perspective. So this is going to be your way to break down barriers, because it's a fucking terrible job to do it. Loki's Morning of Mischief says before this movie was made, the creator went videotaping 12 and 13-year-old girls doing this without contacting their parents or asking permission. That alone is completely effed up, and I agree. There's a lot of other stuff behind this movie. Oh yeah, there's a lot of.
Wait, he did that?
No, the
director.
Oh, okay. All right, I misread that. Okay.
And she admitted this in interviews. And see, so the way this movie was made was already questionable. And I get the point that, yeah, this is a piece of art or whatever, but the way the person decided to construct this, go about filming and go about, getting into this mindset was all wrong. So already this thing was made kind of weird. And you take that into account, and then you go and, you do this review and you try to justify that. I don't see the justification. And I watch foreign films. I watch shit probably people never heard of. I like a lot of Korean films too that are really effed up. Some of my favorite movies are probably really messed up to most people if they watched them.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, I love Old Boy. That's like I've watched that movie so many times, but that's a messed up film. And if I did a review on it, the first thing I've been playing around with doing a review on it, but I still got to get through my Lars von Trier reviews. But with that movie, I still can say, like, yeah, the director didn't really have to put this in or that in, but I understand. And it's different because that was shot with a totally different concept. It's a revenge film. It's not like this. This is tackling a real world subject, and almost as if like a fifth grader wrote. I'm sorry. It's a very childish, in my view, a very childish portrayal of this situation. It goes to a very simplistic.
I was gonna say, ironically, it's pretty predatory now that Loki's given that detail about the filming of some of this.
Yeah, that's and that's the thing too. If you're gonna make a review, clearly Loki did more research than this guy did. If you're gonna make a review, and Loki, I did see those articles. If you're gonna make a review on a film, you need to dig into everything that goes along. Like when I do a review, I just don't do a review and go, oh, I hate this movie. Like with Captain Marvel, I knew all of the stuff behind it, and then I put that out of my mind and I watched a movie and it still fucking sucked, because not because of Brie Larson, it was because it was fucking boring. The scene with invading the planet was cool, and then after that I wanted to fall asleep. It did have good moments in it. I highlight this stuff. I just don't shit on the movie just because I don't like the actress or the people behind it. I want to just get a baseline to understand why people make the choices they do. This guy did not do that. He did not research into the nuances of this film. What was the director doing? There's things floating around where she kind of says it mimics the stuff she went through. So what parts of the film? Like, what is she trying to say then? I'm fucking confused by it. Did you actually go through this? How much of this is based on life experience? And why would you feel the need to portray it in this way? Sounds like there's more of a backstory behind this director themselves. I mean, this is all stuff that if you care about critiquing movies and you care about being serious and giving people your opinions, then you should do your research and back it up. It's why we're pissed off at critics now, because I swear to God, half of them don't watch the movie before they review it. Like, I've seen...
The bare minimum is watch the movie. You don't necessarily have to do all the research on the behind the scenes crap. Like you don't have to do that. You can just review a movie just by watching it, and you tell your audience how you feel about it, without maybe sometimes, it eliminates a lot of baggage or preconceived notions about the movie. Being familiar with the director's work, that's of course, just a given. You should be at least aware of their other films and their style, just to make it easier on yourself and easier on your readers or your audience, your viewers, whatever you might do. But yeah, just it's. I will say that I kind of agree with you. It's very irresponsible that he didn't understand that. Clearly, that if he had just looked up at an interview with this woman and this is what she was actually doing, I don't know. I don't think it would have changed his opinion at all.
I don't think so either. But I'm saying having that perspective, like the thing that pisses people off about this, and the reason and the thing I don't think that he's grasping is it's how you come at things, and that you should know, because I've said stuff here on the channel and had people in the comments say, no, this is this and that's that, and I take that critique because maybe I missed something. Part of doing what we do, or part of doing this thing and making commentary and stuff, is you should do the research and have at least a fucking idea of what you're talking about, because if you're trying to go against something and you don't present any facts to back up your case, you're just going to look like a moron in front of people. And and the sad part is there's tons of people who skate by doing that and doing the bare minimum. And look, he says the main little girl in that movie is supposed to be the director. She has used the same young actress in multiple films, and again, she has stated she sees herself in her films based on personal shit in her own life. And there's nothing wrong with the director doing that, but this movie is just like, whoa, like it's just the whole thing. And my whole point of bringing up this person is because when I looked at his other videos and I dug into his other stuff, I saw there were other things before this that were questionable. Like he makes an argument for school shootings. He talks about how I stopped hitting women and shit like that. And
that sounds funny.
Yeah, it does. But then when you hear the story behind it, and I'm just like, this fucking guy, like, he's got such a basic view and a very narrow view of the things he's talking about. And when we talk about what we talk about, or if you bring up any of these subjects, you need to come at it at all angles, like what we're doing tonight. I'm not saying this guy is a total asshole, and I don't know him. I don't personally know him. Quite honestly, I really don't want to. Like, after this, I'm fine having a vague idea. But at the same time, there is something to be said about people who do this. And that's my statement behind this, is people who YouTube like this, it's very irresponsible, and you should do better by your audience. They deserve better. You should want to give the best possible content. I don't want people to always agree with me. That'd be a boring fucking show. I don't want people to always think my view is right. You need opposition, because it doesn't create conversation if everybody agrees with everyone. The fun part of doing this, at least for me, is having that pushback. Angus has had some different takes than I do. Justin's had some different takes than the both of us, and it makes for the conversation to be explored. This dude just comes at it from one very narrow, weird fucking view that I don't think he quite fully grasps how narrow-minded a lot of the shit he says is. It's very basic, rudimentary way to tackle a very, very deep, complex issue. And you just can't do that. In my mind, if you talk about this stuff, you should have a couple people with you to get different viewpoints and get different opinions. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I think you have too much faith in this guy. I don't think he gives a shit either way. and he doesn't care. I just get this weird feeling from him that he doesn't give a fuck about what anybody thinks at all. Again, this is just me speculating. It's almost as if if he tried to show emotions, I think he might be incapable of it. He might. I'm again just speculating. There's a word for people who try to when you try to, because you don't really have too many different emotions or you are unable to express it, you pretend to do it. But he just doesn't even do that. He just does not give a fuck. I don't know. Is there a word for that that's accurate?
Sociopathic? I
don't know. I was thinking autistic, but I just watched Rain Man today for the first time. So.
Oh no, that would be an insult to autistic people. Not Rain Man. Rain Man's awesome. But yeah, this guy, autistic, no excuse.
No, I don't know. He's kind of autistic because, everyone's got this huge reaction to his review, which is his reaction to this. And honestly, his take is kind of devoid of certain emotions about the topic, how he's addressing it, despite there's an in-depth analysis, but it's there's something human removed from it, and it kind of is autistic. It's kind of like when they ask him what his kiss was like with the girl, and he's like, it was wet. There's no emotion behind it. It's just wet. It's just that's clearly there's something missing. There's this next level or step missing from this guy. So yeah, no, I kind of stand by Rayman with this guy on this. He's got an insight. He's got some perspective. He really can tear this movie apart in a way. But the subject matter is supposed to be inflammatory. It is supposed to be, regardless of the explicit nature. That's something else on top of it. But yeah, no, he's got something there. He's got some legitimate critiques of it.
Loki says, "Great
associated."
Panel,
there you go.
Y'all are great. Crash and take care. You too, Mr. Loki, and thank you for coming by. I really appreciate it. Planet Q says, I get the feeling that he is trying to project real feelings on that movie. I mean, who knows? But I wanted to bring this up because it baffles my mind that you can have so many people, and I do it because I have a real love for this platform, and I think when you reach those kinds of level, or even me having 1,000 or whatever we all have in subs here, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but for me, I feel like I have a responsibility to the people who come and are subscribed to my channels or members of my channel. I have a responsibility to them to be as honest as I can be to them. And what this person is doing, if he's trolling, he's not being honest. If he's serious, he's being too honest. And I mean, it's giving a platform to someone who, I agree with what Billie Jean says, honestly might have a disassociated personality or a very cold and callous take on something that demands more nuance and depth. This discussion demands how we're talking about it. It demands to be seen from every angle, and just viewing something in one lens is not healthy, and it's not good to portray to people who are going to watch you, because by that review, you're acting like this fucking thing's going to be the next Oscar winner, and newsflash, that year passed. It didn't get nominated for nothing. Thank God.
I'm surprised, actually.
I'm shocked, to tell you the truth, but yeah, wasn't even a blip, and thank goodness that whatever passes for those people who are nominated movies, they had the good sense not to touch it with a 10-foot pole.
I mean, it's very diverse. It's almost nothing but diversity in front and behind the camera. It really hits every new Oscar mandate quota.
I mean,
are you saying that Hollywood has standards?
They've manufactured some standards for agenda, and
that they would nominate Cuties.
Well, I think Cuties would be too close to the vest because Like, it's one of those like I don't. It's like Get Out, where Get Out calls out white liberalism for its racism. Where it's like, oh, I'd vote for Obama for a third term. You know what I'm saying? Because black. That's really the baseline of it. And so, like at first, that movie was getting all this hype in movie talk, and it's talking about racism, and it's like, wait a minute, it's talking about us being racist. It's like that Kelly Osbourne video where it's like, if you kick out all the Latin Americans, who's cleaning your toilet? And it like says more about her than Trump. And everyone on the panel like, whoa, oh God, oh, she just said like what everyone thinks about Mexicans. They do the shit job. And
oh dear God.
And
I'm not associated with anybody on this panel.
Same thing with Cuties, where it's like, no, we can't nominate the movie that's about us. Fuck, like.
Yeah, because when you look at the critics, you would think, like, honestly, and that's why when I first started to stream, I wanted to be fair. I read the Rotten Tomatoes, because as fucked up as this person's viewing of this movie, he's actually, not a verified checkmark person, but he is scary in how he's critiquing just like these assholes on Rotten Tomato. And there was one review that said, there's a lot of backlash on this movie, and if you don't get what the artist is trying to convey, then that just shows your narrow-minded dog-minded view or something, dogmatic view. And I said, no, there's no nuance. It's very blatant, the message that's being conveyed in certain parts of this film. You are trying to pitch it like there's some kind of deeper meaning behind it all, guy, and there's not. You're propping this up because you don't want to be the guy who says, yeah, this isn't right. And it was across the board, fucking 89%, while the audience score is 16%, and they buffed that. No, it was
that high.
No, they actually buffed it. I know they removed my review, but they definitely buffed the review because it was originally 9% and the original critic score was 90%.
Let me look this up really quick. I'm gonna find some titles where it's talking about what I'm saying about how this movie got skewed once it was getting called out.
It's amazing that not only. Oh, good night.
I gotta get going in a few minutes too, but I can stick around.
Yeah, I'm gonna get going myself for a little bit. We've been going almost 3 hours, and thank you for everyone who's watching. At one point, we had 30 people or so watching. So thank you, everybody, because I hope I approached this subject with the grace. Because I got to be honest with you, I was a little bit leery in approaching this topic because I care about my audience and their feelings about subjects, because they come and listen to my channel and give me their time, and I think that this needed to be talked about responsibly. You're welcome, Billie Jean. You missed the penis talk, so you should be happy about that. John Browerman is a national treasure.
When did we talk about dicks?
You weren't here for the penis stream. John Browerman apparently was flashing his penis everywhere on Doctor Who. Don't ever change John Browerman.
Okay.
And
why was he doing that?
He was doing it as a joke. If you guys don't know, John Browerman is gay. He's been gay for a long time. He was gay while he was doing this. It was more of a joke amongst his colleague, and then HR talked to him and said, "Hey, John, you can't be just flashing your penis everywhere. It's weird." Okay.
Oh man, what a loss.
And that's probably his reaction, but it never happened again. And then they recently canceled him because this dude who was actually sexually harassing people dragged him under the bus. This a black British guy, I forgot his name. He actually no, don't you ever on this channel defame the great Idris Elba. Don't do it. Don't do it. That man. If there was
I
ever
couldn't
going to
help
be,
myself. I'm sorry.
if there was ever going to be a black Superman, I've been saying for about a year now, it needs to be Idris Elba. I would totally buy that. I would see that film 150 times.
But is he Clark Kent?
He can be whoever he wants to be. He's Idris Elba. I will buy him in it. All he has to say once in that movie is, "I'm Black Superman," and done. Greatest film ever made. 10 out of 10.
That's all you need. Why doesn't he just do this on Instagram or Twitter?
He did it in the greatest movie ever made, Hobbs and Shaw. He literally says that line. And I own that movie.
He says that in the movie?
He goes, yeah, it's the greatest scene ever. There's this huge fight because, Fast and Furious. And there's this explosion, of course. And Superman jumps on this truck, punches the back of the truck. And he goes, "You guys can't stop me. I'm the next in evolution. I'm the Black Superman." And I go, 10 out of 10. Give this man a fucking Oscar. Why has he not gotten an Oscar? This movie's caliber just went from here to fucking here in one frame. One frame saved this whole entire movie. God bless you, Idris. God bless you. I literally probably have watched tons of terrible films just because he was in them.
Hey, I found this article.
Okay.
I'm waiting for this ad to go away so I can. But 4 state attorneys called for the removal of cuties, I guess at least in the state or country. So, in joint letter, Ohio Attorney General, Florida, Louisiana, and Texas urged Netflix CEO Reed Hastings to pull the movie, saying cuties is fodder for those with criminal imaginations, trying to normalize the view that children are sexual beings. It whets the appetites of those who wish to harm our children in the most unimaginable ways. The AGs note that although cuties intended to combat sexualization rather than promote it, the film does more harm than good. U.S. Rep. Vern Buchanan criticized the film as he introduced legislation in Congress to ban like sex dolls. A film that shows girls as young as 11 engaging in highly sexualized dance routines is inappropriate, Buchanan said. I support artistic expression in film. This is exploitative, dangerous, and borders on CP. You can't say you're making a movie that explores the topic of exploitation by then exploiting them. Ted Cruz, John Hawley, Tom Cotton, Arkansas, have all spoken out against the film. Cruz asking U.S. Attorney General to investigate whether Netflix, its executives, or filmmakers violated federal laws against production and distribution of CP. At that point, Netflix had no comment. But once Shields, they went into the Ghostbusters playbook and utilized the controversial feminist film. That was their angle. Along with there was a spin about like in some way I remember seeing something about like, oh, white nationalists or something like that. This one is like, oh, conservatives. Now, with this article, the way it's reading some of the objections, I do see it as no different when liberals are arguing about like gun safety or whatever, gun restrictions. The verbiage of this word. I mean, they're not breaking laws, but I mean, it's so close that they could do something, or this could entice them. It's like that's thought crime. You can't legislate, thought crime. You have to legislate actions. But understandably so, I totally get like preventative measures in various ways, gun rights as well, or gun restrictions. I understand the logic, but it's a slippery slope for freedom. Even something sticky like this movie and its topic, It's kind of where I'm at with it. Along with the doll thing too. It's like, I mean, for me, it's one of those, like, I totally get the slippery slope of the doll thing. I've seen countries banning it, like you get fucking jailed if it's found on your luggage going to different countries, some of these places at the airports. But it's like, hey, if it keeps them from doing it to real kids, like, it's a stopgap. I don't know. It's one of those, I throw my hands in, like, what are we supposed to do?
And that's the thing about this topic is it's one of those discussions that is not simple, and it's not easy to talk about. And I understand about talking about the topic, but it's about how you approach these issues and how you choose to address them, that people will ultimately either understand your point or they're just going to totally shut down and not want to have the discussion. And that is my disagreement with this review. That was probably most people were bagging on this person. Let's be real. Most YouTubers who covered it and were making these funny videos about them and stuff, most of them were getting into the hype, but someone did come along and be like, yeah, this is kind of a messed up point of view. And to an extent it is. But when you tackle something like this, you've got to be able to have, if you're going to defend something like this, you've got to be able to come at it from different angles and address the outrage part of it, address the scandal part of it, and then try to find a medium where your thoughts and your feelings about what you're talking about make sense to your wider audience. And for me, this is not it. This does not in any way achieve that goal. It is very cold and detached. The delivery and the humor behind it is very tasteless, and it's really indicative to this whole entire movie and the way it came about in general. It's why people have a problem with this film in general, because every approach to this film, right up to the reviews, feels dirty. That's all I can say. It feels dirty. It feels exploitive. It doesn't feel like something that make me think about the topic. It feels like something that just wants to handle a sensitive subject with a sledgehammer, which is half of what Hollywood puts out right now.
I can summarize what you just said in 3 words. That's fucked up.
Yeah. It's it's I guess the moral of the story for tonight is be careful with what you say and what you choose to say. Look, any of us could have a hot take. Oh, thank you. I agree.
Who's that?
Oh, that's someone I know. They come on the channel often with great different little subheadings. PB normally enjoys them, right, PB? He agrees.
Not tonight.
You know, I gotta say, Zod, I'm so glad I stayed up late reading comics on the computer and having see the stream go on with the discussion. I'm so glad you had me on to add my kind of 2 cents about this whole thing. Because I was in a people don't know, but when I was in college, I originally was going for sports industry because I never got to play football, but it was always a passion. I wanted to be a coach. And I switched because I'm this degree has a wide range, but it's so hard to actually network a job. So then I switched to psychology with the hope of I can get in my own. It might take long, but I can get in coaching myself as a hobby instead of trying to do this collegiate, and I can get a better job with I don't know if I'd ever go this far, but my interest is sexuality, sexual psychology. And I don't mean sex at Netflix show or something let's just be dirty sex, but I really think sexuality, not the naughty fun parts of it. I really think at a very matrix zeros and ones kind of level, sexuality really makes the person. So this whole gender crap going on right now is really blowing up the normal progression of humanity. The longer we let this shit go on. And I was in a human sexuality class, and I definitely see the agenda. There's definitely psychology, especially, but academia in general is very, I would say, not literal but libtard focused, with the agenda of everything like hyper leftist, let's go commie, all this kind of crap. They really try to interject it in, including in the sciences, especially with trans arguments and stuff, because there's a lot of weird shit with the origin of like trans based science and treatment. But like they introduced the idea of it in the class, and this is something collegiately influenced in sexuality studies now, regardless if you think it's right or not. Being a map, whether you do anything, being attracted to minors is a orientation. I do think it is. I do agree. There's a pathology where it's like this is something just like that look catches their eye. They won't even want to grow older with that person. It's like they want like that age window. So it's like a set thing. And so there's an argument for like the no map stuff, but again, it's one of those slippery slopes where it's like it's been proven with where LGBT is going. You don't engage this shit. You got to draw a hard line of intolerance at some point. And despite the great ideals of America, it's like there's got to be a line of intolerance that makes your morality. This is where we don't cross the line. And I don't know. It's one of those, having seen this, scientific approach view of it, where I'm like, I get it. At the same time, there's like, incentivizing when you say like, when you normalize the idea of like, well, you just have like a spectrum in this orientation. You get these weird cases that could break open, like get a teacher that identifies this way, and then it's like, well, that's his orientation, and then it follows suit from there,
and that's
it makes it acceptable in a way, and people are like, oh, I'm sorry, son, that you got that this happened to you, but we have to respect the teacher's sexual orientation. That's something that I cannot accept. That's something that I never want to happen. I'm, in a way, I'm not saying I'm worried that it's actually going to happen, because there's still some sanity left with the majority of us. But as soon as we cross that line, and there's legislation that is passed, or which will never happen, or is there some sort of weird social restructuring where people, I guess, are somehow duped into thinking that it is acceptable, that's something that I would be very concerned about, and terrified of. I wouldn't even want to have kids because I don't want them to go through with it.
Yeah, and
it's like it's time for the human race to end now. It's
well,
over.
To counter like a different example to kind of give understanding people, like intersex it's generally like hermaphroditism. It's being a hermaphrodite, where your obvious physical sexual characteristics are indistinguishable for what sex you should be, or like what are their genitals, or there's like parts of both, like, or missing both, whatever. It's a range of what you could be, but this shit has been roped into the identity crap, where it's like, oh, you're intersex, even though like you might be a woman with extra parts of them, but you can reproduce. You're still a viable woman, but that's like an identity, because let's be flip-floppy about who we are. They've taken a medical anomaly that's so much percent possible in the human genome, this like fuck up of your genes to have a kid like this, and they've made it an identity and shit, instead of like, well, we're binary, but this is just an outlier of our error in coding, genetic coding. And so this is where you get the weird shit. So example, when I was a kid about to join the army, reading the newspaper, California, there was a teacher got busted. This kind of gets into like immigration, but teacher got busted in California for feeding kids cookies with his product on it, so to speak.
Oh no, I remember hearing about that.
So,
That was
I
fucking
remember
the
that.
reason
gross.
the parents largely knew about this guy and didn't say anything because they were immigrants. So they're worried about ICE deporting them if they spoke to the cops. I mean, rightfully so. But that's an argument too. In like, we need a set language to protect people, protect these kids. If they were, citizens, this wouldn't have been an issue. Would have been hammered right from the start. But think of this scenario: this guy might just get fired with orientation if you go forward with this kind of stuff, where it's like, well, you just kind of crossed the line with like edibles, but yeah, because your orientation is like legally protected with civil rights. It's been added. Then like we can't do any like criminal charges, dude. It's just like a. It just
Also,
be like
is it
violation.
you getting deported too? Like,
yeah,
Which, I know that some people have to go on this panel and are really gotta get ready to head out. But I think, definitely, we should definitely convene again and dive more deep into some of this stuff because it's quite fascinating and it's
I want to see the interview.
Yeah, I definitely.
Yeah, let's do a part 2 of the shilling.
But so hopefully people we've dropped some knowledge here. We've given some deeper perspectives on this whole thing and not just a shallow one-dimensional view for clicks. And hopefully people enjoyed this and you got something out of it. And I appreciate everybody willing to come along with us as we talk about this delicate topic. And thank you, everybody, because it's amazing that I am able to convey this and we're able to get some feedback, because at the end of the day, this stuff shouldn't be approached from a one-sided point of view. It should be handled. It should be handled responsibly. It should be handled with care, and it should be discussed from different angles. And don't check out this guy's channel because you don't want to live through what I have. You don't want to see this.
I'm too curious. I'm gonna. Some of these titles are just too enticing. Like, what is this? I'm that guy.
Sometimes curiosity gets the best of us. Hence, I wish I hadn't looked up his penis, but there it is.
Yeah, he found it. The proper. I don't know how you find that shit, but
I looked up this dude, Dick, and then if you want to see it in slow motion, you can also see it there. I'm not kidding. That second link is the slow motion version.
KH, thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed the stream. I'm glad. Planet Q has been linking that. It's a great link to a site where they bust pedophiles on there, and it's some interesting stuff. And this proves to me why we need people who are addressing this. And there's a lot of other stuff that I wanted to go over, but we've been going for 3 hours because this was just so interesting with this guy and diving into the movie and the whole different angles of it. But yeah, I think we would too much. Yep. Kim, I agree with you. That's why I suffered, so you guys don't have to. But anyways, check out Black Angus's channel. He does some great stuff. Check out Justin Proper, Pop Culture PB. If he's awake by tomorrow night, he'll have the after party after our 8 o'clock stream. But thank you, everybody, for watching. Please, I want to reiterate again, don't send hate to this person. Don't make obscene comments. Downvote only if you feel offended. Don't flag people and stuff like that. This is just meant to have meant to have a different perspective, maybe make some satire so we're not uncomfortable watching this guy's very creepy review, and to point out some things that I feel like that need to be changed on this platform, because I love this platform. I love talking to you guys, and I'm seriously wanting to make this a career. I want this to be what I do because I love talking to all of you people. I love talking in general, and you know, I really, you know, I really just want every kind of perspective on what I do, and I want to do it fair and balanced, and still call dumbasses out because
Fox News.
No, they're used to. You know, there's no balance in the media. So if we're going to commentate, we need to have our own balance, and we need to give you guys the most fairest perspective. And if we don't, then like anything else, you guys need to call us out on it if we're not giving you the truth. But anyways, thank you for watching. And as always, remember the only rule here in the fandom zone: don't ever watch Cuties. Don't skip it. It's not a good movie.